take first watch.
Hello, and welcome to an all-new episode of the First Watch podcast. I'm Zach, and I'm here as always with Cole and with Morgan, and today we're also joined by Davey. How are you guys all doing?
Chugga chugga.
Proud to be a Yankee.
Proud to be here. I don't know what any of you guys are talking about. I'm out of the loop. Davey's got like an arrival sign. He's talking to us like we're the aliens in the spaceship.
It's the title cards.
Because it's a silent motion picture. That's right.
Exactly.
Today we're going deep in our bag. Cole, no, this is not the earliest film we've ever talked about, certainly like ever. But it might be the earliest movie we've ever done as like the main topic. Cole, can you think of an
Yeah.
earlier one?
I mean, we've talked about like Kabiria and
Cabiria,
Dr. Caligari and all that stuff, but that wasn't like the main
but like
topic.
laced into conversations about other movies. We specifically did have a conversation about like old early silent movies. Yeah, Once Upon a Time, but that was on an episode about like Hilmir Palmason's Godland, I think. It was literally a new release
Hmm.
episode. We just got drawn about other stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, the year is now 2026. If you can believe that, that means that we're, 20 years removed from whatever your favorite GameCube game is, Twilight Princess and stuff. And we're 100 years removed from the films of 1926, 100 years ago. One of those, very famous movie, is Buster Keaton's The General, which is the main topic of our episode today. We're going to talk about a bunch more stuff, including probably more Buster Keaton. We invited Davey, who was what did we even talk about on the last episode, you guys?
Wizard of Oz?
No,
Or
that
Yeah.
was a lot. That was the last time you were here. But the
oh,
last time that we all convened, we
it was
were like,
Pulse.
yeah, it was Pulse. That's right. And we were like, we
Hmm.
should get Davey for that. And Davey wasn't available. So then when we had the Buster Keaton thing, so kind of subbing you in here.
Yeah.
So before we get started, as we always do, we'll talk about the things that we've been watching recently. Anybody got any new releases that they're just dying to talk about in this beginning of quarter two, 2026?
No corporate lingo. This is a fun podcast. There are no
Unfortunately, I'm
corners.
on my work laptop, so you're getting the corporate lingo.
That's awful.
We're gonna synergize, we're gonna optimize, and we're gonna automate. And we're gonna
New
find out
era.
how AI can fix this podcast. No, that's a lie.
Oh, so you watched the AI talk, huh?
No, fuck no. That didn't happen.
There are two AI docs in theaters this month,
That's
and both of them
terrible.
were Sundance docs, and both of them I heard were not very good.
That's
I,
ungodly, but you
you
know
know
what?
what?
Let's.
I have a kickoff from this because I did watch the AI movie of last year slash this year, which is Radu Jude's Dracula, which we have some polarized opinions on in this very chat. We have Cole rubbing his hands together because he's a big fan. We have Davey sort of slouching into his chair because he thought it was a piece of
Whatever.
shit.
It sucks. It's fine. Radu, you're my boy. I love you. You can never do
Yeah,
anything wrong, but God, this was wrong.
I'm glad that you've seen Continental 25 and End of the World and are like,
Banger.
Radu Jude good. This movie not
Hmm.
so good.
Yeah.
Because there's a version of I hate this movie that is also I hate every movie he's ever made because
Yeah.
he's we've talked about Radu Jude before on the podcast. Romanian filmmaker,
Mhm.
provocateur extraordinaire, one of the great one of the only great filmmakers at making movies about topics in the modern world. Do not expect too much from the End of the World is like this, labor, Twitter, TikTok, was Andrew Tate, right? It's got all these things circling around it where you're inclined to like rub the bridge of your nose and go like, oh my God, really? Are we really gonna fucking do this? But he has such a sharp sense of humor and is intelligent and deftly navigates his way through these things. I think that's still the case in Dracula. Like, there's no part of me that's like, this is an unethical movie. There's no part of me that's like, this is a pointless movie. I get why it's there. It is also, what is it, 2.5 hours long? Over
It's
that?
it's 250.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
gonna say three, but I was like, I didn't think it quite got to three. And I was never bored. I want to say that. I never at any point during those 3 hours like lost my will to keep moving ahead in the movie. But it's the first time he's made a movie where I was like, this needed to be an hour shorter or more.
Yeah.
Whereas like Do Not Expect Too Much at the End of the World, also close to 3 hours, I'm pretty sure, over two and a half
Hmm.
anyway. I could have watched another hour of that one. There's a
Yeah, just of
documentary
that
I'm
one
always
shot at the end.
there's a documentary I'm always yammering about that he made, The Exit of the Trains. Again, it's about 3 hours and it is a dry, homeworky movie. And I would watch another hour of that one. So it is not a complaint I usually have for him. I just think that this idea and the use of the AI in the movie, it's like it's funny, but I don't know that we're going anywhere with it. So it's maybe my first like relative disappointment for him, but I didn't hate it or anything.
I'm glad that you've seen it. I'm glad that more people are talking about it because it is a really interesting movie. It is just one that I think if you look at it and say, "Oh, this is like pointless and doesn't have anything to say," you're just wrong. But it's so grating and it's so kind of in your face, almost in a way like the Andrew Tate stuff and Do Not Expect Too Much at the End of the World is.
Hmm.
But there's a distance to that and like the Uwe Boll stuff in that movie, whereas in Dracula there's really no distance and
There's
everything
that
smart it's
character.
saying is just like it just gets like bludgeoned. There is the kind of main guy, but even then
Well, no, I
I
was saying in End of the World, you've got the woman who
oh
is
yeah.
doing the Andrew Tate thing, and you spend so much time with her not doing the Andrew Tate thing that you're
Hmm.
like, okay, this is how she's blowing off steam. This is, like it's all kind of rooted in the narrative and the setup of that movie.
Yeah, and there's the great thing with that movie is the how constantly it looks back to the past of like old Romanian cinema that like we've never heard of,
Mhm.
and kind of drawing those lines of these women are the same, even if their expressions are vastly different, as one is so much more vulgar than the other. And I think I'm sure that stuff is in Dracula. I don't care to search for it. I will leave that to the
Yeah,
people who enjoyed the experience. I I hate that movie so much, and it makes me sad because I don't want to hate a Radu Jude movie.
he's made like 10 movies in the 2020s already so far.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
if you don't like one, just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch Continental 25. Watch I don't care if we go down in history as barbarians. I still need to see
Duh.
Bad Luck Banging.
Oh, good
Mm.
God, dude. Barbarians is a crazy movie. That
It's awesome.
Exit of the Trains is like a sister movie to that. It's a
Yeah.
documentary about that same pogrom that
Hmm.
that movie's like, so they go together. So if you ever watch that movie, it's just like I think it's kind of a nice touch point for that documentary. If you don't have
Yeah.
context, it's like, well, here's this other movie that I also made that you can put them together. Yeah, he's a favorite of mine. Like everything, he's making that Frankenstein movie with Mr. A Different Man, Mr. Bucky
Sebastian
Barnes.
Stan, yeah.
So
Man.
yeah, who's also in the Munju, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those Romanian roots.
Yeah, no, I love Dracula. The girls who get it. The girls who don't, and that's okay.
I don't.
I'll just drop
It's asking a lot, but
it is, but it's not, you know, I think if I had seen it earlier and in theaters, this is a
hmm
case of having to wait and 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 wait. And part of that waiting is on me because it did eventually hit streaming and movie, but I had already wait. It just like th there's a moment with movies, Sinners dropped in April of last year. It's been a year now. That was the moment for that movie. Like it was like this is when there's just Knives Out November 2019. That was the moment for that movie. There
Well, the
was
moment
a
came out at
moment
the end of January 2026.
And that also sucked.
that did also
Ah,
suck.
boo.
That sucked worse than Dracula. Give me another hour of Dracula before you give me the Charlie movie, to be honest. The only other new release I'll shout, because I'm sure that you guys will cover other things, but I'm gonna take this one because I wanna, is Julia Ducournau's Alpha. I'm taking it predominantly because Davey and Cole have also seen this, but they saw it earlier than I did. This is in theaters now in limited, like it's in theaters now here in Dallas. It
Mhm.
will be in theaters wide, I think, by the end of next week. I think like April 10th. We were debating about this because the movies had this, staggered rollout. It was a con movie from last year. It had festival releases. Apparently, Cole said that it played in like, Tampa, Florida and Eugene, Oregon or something. So that,
West Covina and the Bronx.
whatever. Might as well be a festival, right? But this is the third feature film. I think it's the third feature film. Has she had
Yes.
third,
Yeah, it's
right?
the third.
She's got other short films, stuff I haven't seen, but I
She's
think,
got
yeah,
like one major short, but yeah, it's
which has
pretty.
also got Garance Millier, right? or whatever her name is, the girl from Raw. I'm pretty
Did
sure
not
her
know
big
that.
short film's got the same girl. I think she's got
Mm.
two short films with the same girl in it. Anyway, so Alpha, her third movie after winning the Palme d'Or with Titan earlier in this decade, neon release, she proceeded to like death grips shit herself out the backside by making a movie that I guess I do we have any beat on why this was so maligned at Con 2025? I have guesses, but I don't know specifically.
A friend of mine did the like you're in your 20s and you're allowed to go to con thing. And so I texted him about it after I saw it. I was like, "Why were you all so wrong about this movie?" And his main response was like, "It was really late. Everyone was really tired, and it was just like everyone was expecting something different than they got." And he
Yeah.
even said he was like, "I would really want to rewatch it,
Okay.
not
Yeah.
expecting something that isn't bleak and slow and sad." And
Yeah,
yeah,
Festival scheduling's a real thing.
it
yeah,
is for sure. I've actually never I've seen festival movies, particularly when they offer streaming versions of it in this decade. It's a nice thing.
yeah.
But it is, it's a limited number of days. You're there probably for a limited number of the limited number of days, or God forbid you're there for the whole thing, trying to see as much as you can. I'm sure that, how many of us, raise your hand, have ever watched like three or more movies in a day and honestly been like, did you give all three of those or all four of those or all five of those the best opportunity to succeed? Maybe, maybe, maybe not, right? It's just, it happens. It happens.
Sometimes.
If
Yeah.
you're marathoning, you guys like the blank check stuff and going through director filmographies. If you watch like 10 movies by the same, you watch like, no, actually, I don't. I had an Ozu movie up here. If you watch like 10 Ozu movies in a row, I don't think you're giving all of those the space they need to breathe.
Yeah.
Because
Mm.
you're like, okay, yeah, Setsuko Hara, Shizuku, whatever, Ryu, whatever, whatever. Point being, I get that. I also, I don't know. It was a struggle for me to watch Alpha and be like, if you like Raw and you like Teton, particularly Teton, which in its second half kind of goes from like morbid murder movie into like Vincent Linden is my surrogate papa drama thing. If you enjoyed that and gave that the Palme d'Or, why would you not like this? That lost me a bit because this felt like if we had more of the Vincent Linden as far
The
as yeah,
yeah,
Tahar Rahim.
the thing for me about Alpha is that it reminds me a lot of Twin Peaks season 2, where there's a lot of it
Okay.
where people had such like vitriol for it to the point where I was like, I think you didn't
Mm.
understand what was good about the last one. I
That's
think
I mean that's
you
Firewalk
are
with Me,
wrong.
right? Con
Yeah.
92, same
Firewalk with
basic
Me
thing.
even more
Yeah.
so. It was like you got the wrong impression from season 1 of Twin Peaks and from Titan, and I'm glad you liked it, but you were wrong about it.
That just feels odd to
Some
me.
parts of season two of Twin Peaks fucking suck though.
It's not a perfect 1-to-1, but there's a lot more good in season 2 than people in 1991 would like to admit.
I would
My
agree.
my thinking on
Yeah.
it is twofold. So Alpha is a story of a younger girl named Alpha. She is living in a sort of alternate present or near future or past. I don't even fucking know. It's kind of hard. There's multiple timeline things going on in the movie, but it's not like telegraphing itself to you other than with one of the characters having bangs or not having bangs. That's kind of all you can
I
tell.
took it as like an alternate late 80s, early 90s.
But
Yeah.
then there's clearly like a future timeline that's either like our present or our recent past. Because there's like the thing where so the mom, and you guys are gonna have to keep me honest because I don't have the actress's name right in front of me.
Golshifteh Farahani.
Thank you. Star of About Ellie, star of actually like more Hollywood movies than I had realized that she had been
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
prior to
Patterson,
this. Yeah, there you go.
great in Patterson. She's also in
Um,
Extraction
Extraction
1 and
one and
2.
two,
yep, right.
those
So
notable movies.
She's
it
in the upcoming, what is it? Not Hot Wheels, but like the other
The
toy car
Matchbox
movie.
movie.
Matchbox, yes.
Ugh.
so when you see her in those 80s scenes, she's got like this curly hairdo, bangy, and then later we see her as an adult. She's got this daughter, and the daughter's probably 15. So if we wanted to plant it in like 1988, then we're going to, 2002 or something. There's anyway, it's not really super duper rooted in time, in my opinion. The 80s thing is relevant because in this alternate reality, there is a viral disease that people are catching. They don't know how they catch it. They're afraid of catching it in all sorts of different ways, but they clearly don't know how it's transmitted. That is causing people to kind of marbleize. And I don't want to give too much of that away if you haven't seen the movie because it's kind of cool to explore how she does that. But point being, there is something that I would say most of us would go, that's like HIV. Or in the 2020s, you might also say that's a bit like COVID, although it's clearly more extreme than COVID
Yeah.
to that HIV place. And one of the key reasons why it feels like that is because you've got this Tahar Rahim character who is clearly a heroin addict. Right, so he's shooting up. There's all this stuff about sharing needles. It opens up, girls getting a tattoo. Where'd the needle come from? Are you infected? Yada, yada, yada. And so there is a lot of intense and extreme bodily imagery in this. Like if you don't like needles, you're not gonna like this movie. You know, so that is kind of the thing that I thought might have put people off. Also, there's a lot of like teenage sexuality in this movie.
Yeah.
It's like
Mm.
Moonrise Kingdom if it had balls a little bit. Um, so I could see, because you remember when that movie Cuties came out and the entire internet like freaked
Hmm.
about that movie, and maybe not because that movie kind of came and went. It really wasn't much of anything, but people freaked about that.
I
And
don't
I
even know
was
what you're
wondering if
talking about.
it's a
Keep that.
French movie. Yeah, it's a French movie about like,
It was part of 2020 culture war bullshit.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's about these young
Okay.
girls who are like in a dance competition, and the movie itself is addressing the kind of performative, sexualized elements of all that, and then people are detecting that it is representing these things and going, "Oh my God, it's sexualizing the minors," and they lost their shit.
I bet
And
you
then
all these
ultimately, the
people
movie
also
was
watch Dance Moms
and
Yeah.
it's
constantly.
the
So
movie's clearly criticizing that kind of culture, or at
yeah.
least putting a harsh spotlight on it, I would say. But it was ultimately kind of a flop. It just didn't really. I've seen that movie and it was like, this was okay. Alpha is way more, in the raw, so to speak. But like it's like the movie Raw, it's like
Hmm.
Mhm.
growing up, sexuality, complicated feelings. I don't know which way is up, down, sideways, or over. There's such a human core to this movie that almost reminded me of like a Celine Sciamma type of affair.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm completely in my bag for this kind of thing,
Yeah.
whether it's sad or happy or anything. Like, but in this case, it was just, and I've said his name a couple times, but Tahar Rahim, the star of A Prophet and also Madam Web,
Hmm.
is like Oscar, get the like best actor,
Yeah.
best actor now, maybe supporting actor based on the role, but like holy shit, that's the best performance I've seen of a movie from this year, I think.
The
He's
only
really,
way I'd
really
really
good.
push back against that is because I would give it to Golshifteh Farahani for the same movie.
Sure, sure,
There's a moment she has
yeah.
about halfway through that is like one of those line readings that just like immediately like hits you with a brick. It's incredible stuff.
And there's a particular Beth Little Women scene. I'm stealing Cole's thunder here. Little Women 2019, there's that scene
Yeah.
with Beth where the color grading
Yeah.
is doing the color grading.
Hmm.
And there's some color grading in this that I still don't understand. I have not wrapped my head around it. Where I'm like, why is that character in a black and white movie and these characters are in a color movie? It's like, but I don't even, and just that whole scene will fuck up your week.
Yeah. If there's a problem that I had with it, it is the timeline stuff is pretty opaque for most of the
It's
until you get to that scene,
it's a
really.
little inscrutable.
I want to
Mhm.
watch it again, knowing that it's doing that, and I think that'll be an easy high 3.5 to like a 4.5 bump.
Yeah, don't expect it to do time travel like Christopher Nolan.
Yeah,
It is not here to explain itself to you.
no, but I would have liked because you brought up Little Women, and I rewatched that recently. I would have liked a little more of like a
The
here,
markation,
yeah, just a little
Mhm.
bit.
the fashion, I think is the closest you're gonna get to that. Tahar
That's fair.
Rahim looks exactly the fucking same in both timelines. I'm gonna tell you that.
Hmm.
He has not like which I think is an intentional creative choice.
Yes.
And then there's also like just other there are so many like unreconciled like wait, what about I thought huh happening in this movie, but like in the good way.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
this is never going to play in theaters here. So looking forward to video on demand.
it apparently hasn't gotten its wide release yet. Are you like I know it's an AMC movie, so it may not be a Cinemark
Yeah, don't
thing.
have that.
If you know where to search, you
Yeah,
might be able to find it as of today.
including like on my computer. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah,
You
great
gotta.
movie.
It sounds like I ought to get in the right headspace for that one. So I will
Yeah.
let
Yeah,
somebody know.
If anything, you should make it an Emma Mackey double.
with
Yeah,
Ella
Ella
McKay.
McKay.
Hey. Who knew that she took up nursing after being governor?
Of the state she
I'm,
was born and raised in. That's so impressive.
I mean, I like her, so that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Similar to her sibling George McKay. You're like, wait, you could speak French?
Wait, you can sing? Zach, when are you going to watch Joshua Oppenheimer's The
I
End?
know, I know. I
Yeah.
don't have any excuse for not watching that. That's like
Yeah.
guaranteed gonna be my shit.
Yeah, it's
Guaranteed.
so good. I
It's
was thinking about it the
it
other day.
rules.
My good friend Michael Shannon.
God,
He's
he's
so
so
good
good
in
in
it.
it.
Speaking of Universal hits, Project Hail Mary,
Yeah.
two
Andy
big
Weir,
thumbs up.
Puppet Rock.
He's
Goes
my best
hard.
friend.
It's much too long, and I don't really care.
Yeah.
It moves fast.
Yeah.
There
Good
was
sense of
never a point.
pacing.
Yeah, there was never, if anything, you could probably slow it down a little bit. I'm not
I
saying
wouldn't be
add more
opposed.
minutes. I'm saying like slow down and like spend time. I assume, I've not read the book. I assume that the book has a lot of, oh gosh, what the fuck are we gonna do? Time to roll up our sleeves and problem solve for 200 pages.
Yeah.
That is the part of this movie that kicks ass. And I would have done that for 2 hours. And then there's also like all the other stuff. Just, but that part is awesome.
I understand not leaning into the Apollo 13-ness of it all
Yeah,
Mm.
because Apollo 13 exists.
it does exist. Yeah.
But yeah, there were a couple ways to skin this cat. And experientially it's pretty one for one with the book. Like if you're reading the plot beats, um well, I guess experientially it's not like the book in that sense. Uh because yeah, I mean there is that time because it's a novel, you're looking
hmm
at, so much more taking a beat and thinking about things.
And I
And
think what this, and again, haven't read the book, so I'm kind of talking out of my ass in terms of adaptation, but just based on how the movie plays, it's like it's taking the plot beat and it's like every 5 minutes we're getting to the next plot beat, as opposed to being a little bit more elliptical and saying, now this plot beat we're going to take a longer time on, and then maybe we're going to skip some of this shit and we're going to move over here. Although it does lead to Tony Erdmann fans, our girl Sandra Hüller getting a little karaoke moment.
I love that she'll do karaoke once a decade and that's it.
I'm glad that she's getting like paid and that like people are seeing her
Mhm.
face.
Yeah, Hollywood debut.
She really could have won two Oscars in the year 2023, one for Anatomy of a Fall and one for The Zone of Interest. I
Yeah.
will continue saying that until I'm dead because it's true.
I think she'll be back on the campaign trail very soon. There was a movie of
Because of
hers that
the,
premiered at Berlin that everybody loved.
and then she's got that Reinhard Reinsva thing cooking, whatever the fuck that's
Mhm.
about.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
exciting.
a lesbian in.
Gay.
Good for them. Hooler's basically never been in bad things, at least as far as I've seen, and Reinsva is semi-frequently in things that at least I kind of hate. So I'm,
Shouts to Taking Care of the Dead or whatever the fuck that movie's
yeah,
called.
and Armand. So I hopefully Hooler can just be like, hey, this is a good movie. Join me.
But also, Rinsborough was in like your two favorites of the last couple of years, wasn't
This is
she?
true. She's an odd duck.
Yeah,
Yeah. And now she's going to be
Uh,
in Backrooms, which is like a real what the fuck
Yeah.
moment.
Maybe
yeah.
that'll be the best movie of 2026. Who knows?
I maybe on the
anything's possible
on the
Mhm.
Hail Mary front.
except for that. That's not possible. No,
On the Hail Mary front, I think the big story is, of course, how big of a hit it is, how successful of a star vehicle it has been for Ryan Gosling, that
Mhm.
he's like out in front of it and everything in a way that's just a breath of fresh air at the movies, I think, to have a movie star kind of, a lot of movies these days will put the movie star out in front and be like, come see this movie the way it was meant to be seen. But like the
Yeah.
idea that it's working, the idea that people are
Yeah.
responsive to it.
Yeah.
He's had an interesting decade. Like he was kind of gone for a minute and he shows back up with like a streaming movie and Barbie. Barbie obviously huge hit and like people loved him in it. Um,
Oscar nominated turn.
what the hell was the other one? I'm missing one.
Fall Guy.
Fall Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not Fall Guy, Gray Man, like
Yeah,
super generic.
did
Hmm.
not
Barbie,
see.
Project
Well,
Hail
I
Mary.
saw the Gray Man, but
Yeah.
Remember when The
Why?
Ringer had a collective meltdown about Fall Guy not doing well?
No, a movie. David Leitch, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe his best movie.
That's Atomic Blonde, Davey.
Oh fuck, you're right. I'm
yeah.
sorry. No,
Yeah. Come
Atomic Blonde's
on.
actually good. The Fall Guy's like
Correct.
not. It's not good, but it's just not unwatchable. It's not Bullet
Yeah, well,
Train.
it's like right. It's like Bullet Train, but we got Ryan Gosling
Yeah.
over Brad Pitt or over Ryan Reynolds or whoever.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
a better
Sorry.
movie star than those guys.
It's Atomic Blonde. You were correct.
Yeah. Yeah. People, it's easy to forget. You almost want to be like, is that a Chad Stahelski movie?
Yeah.
No, it's
It
not.
feels
Yeah.
like a movie made by an adult.
Yeah. It felt like part of the John Wick franchise, even though it
It
wasn't.
was
Yeah.
it was my favorite it was my favorite entry in the John Wick franchise until 4, to be
That's a fair
honest.
take.
didn't he
It was
also
not a
do
huge margin, but
that Fast and Furious movie?
Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah,
oh
the very
Christ.
Yeah.
second.
Oh, yeah, that's
That was
right.
Yeah.
Leitch?
Yep, that was him. A
Never
movie that
saw it.
includes Idris Elba saying, "I'm Black Superman."
In the trailer.
Yeah, and in the film. That movie sucks.
It was fine. I don't know.
No,
I
there
sincerely
are.
doubt that.
Listen, I will
It's been
say,
a
I will
long time.
ride for the good ones of the 11 feature-long Fast and Furious franchise. Hobbs and Shaw is dog shit.
There's only one. It's just 5, right?
Are we ever finishing that damn series? Like, what's
I'd
going
say
on?
5 and 7, and also I have quite a bit of fun with 9 because they go into space.
I appreciate you name
Yeah.
dropping 7 because that is my favorite James Wan movie.
Yeah,
So,
King of Shit Mountain right there.
He's a dog shit director, man. I'm sure he'll
Grim
have something
outlook.
new to torment me with soon.
I think my favorite is either Malignant, which I famously in this group do not care for really,
Correct.
and uh, the Kevin Bacon vehicle Death Sentence.
Oh, that's a bad movie.
Yeah, it is.
I like
That
the
is a-
first Insidious well enough.
I have not
No.
actually seen any of those, I don't think.
It's dumb as rocks.
Yeah.
aren't they all?
They
Yeah.
just like completely reskinned it with The Conjuring
Yeah.
and gave it a better aesthetic and better formal stuff and better.
Characters.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
movie's fine too.
Yeah, they're all dumb as rocks, but Insidious is like really dumb as rocks.
What the hell were we talking about?
New releases.
Yeah.
Great,
Yeah, Project Hail Mary. It's very good. Had a good time.
great puppetry.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The puppet definitely, like getting the puppeteer to be the voice actor, like just wish they wouldn't have given that away in the trailer. Like as a non-book
Yeah.
reader, would have been
I-
kind of nice for
it's-
that to be like a
As
thing.
as a book reader, I was pissed because I got that happens like 200 pages into the book, and you're like, oh, this is different than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, I also saw Ready or Not 2, Here I Come.
Before you even get into this, can I talk about how much I
Gonna
fucking hate
do-
this subtitle? I hate this fucking subtitle, and I hate Now You See Me, Now You Don't. The whole idea of naming your movie Ready or Not is that in my brain I go, here I come, right? Like you don't have to call it that. You just call it Ready or Not. That's why you called it Ready or Not the first time. That's why you called it Now You
Because-
See Me the first time, is because my brain goes, now you don't. You don't put this, especially in this case, because they called it Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, and not just Ready or Not, Here I Come. This sucks. We need to fucking fire these people. You just start workshopping this better. Anyway, sorry, that was my mini rant on the title.
I greatly enjoyed this movie. It certainly doesn't have the staying power of the first one, which
for
was
sure.
like a moment.
I'm not
David,
convinced that
were
Catherine
you-
Newsom can act.
Newton, I think.
Newton? Newsom?
Newton and
Yeah.
no.
Fucking Ant-Man girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ant-Man
Uh,
Quantumania
not
girl.
related to my governor.
yeah.
Newsom, shut up. But Morgan, to answer your question, yes, I saw that with you.
Yeah.
The first
That
one.
was that was a hoot and a half.
It was.
Uh, and
That was a very unexpected, like a nice little surprise in
yeah,
2019.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
and
this movie is pretty good.
that certainly was part of the novelty of why I was over the moon for it, because we sat down expecting some goober shit and
Yeah.
walked away with a great time. Uh, I had pretty much the exact same amount of fun in this. It's not as good. It's a lot clunkier. They sort of John Wick 2-ified the lore of it all, which I am
Hmm.
pro, but it makes everything a lot more complicated if you're gonna do that.
Yeah.
And needlessly so. Um,
And the concept was already a little bit like, huh? Like
yeah,
the concept wasn't what was clicking about the first movie. It was like Samara Weaving doing shrieking while people's fucking heads explode or
Yeah.
like
yeah,
getting shot or whatever.
yeah. Good time. Good time at the pictures.
And you can
It's
see how weak the plot of that movie is because you can see the shitty version in They Will Kill You,
I
also
was
in
just gonna
theaters
say,
now.
it's
Yeah.
weird that it happened twice.
Yeah.
The Armageddon deep impact of it all. The fact that both of these premiered at South by Southwest, which I've decided is probably the worst film festival out there now
They
that I
can't
think
all be
about
the
it.
worst film festival. You can't hate all of them. You said this
I
about
don't
Sundance a week ago.
okay, both of them broad watch.
South by Southwest is less of a legitimate film festival, period. Like Sundance is a film festival. South by Southwest debuts some films at it. It's like a music,
That's
it's
like
culture
mostly
thing.
concerts.
Correct. So I feel like if they're not up to par, it's like, well, yeah, it's not really like their thing.
Hmm.
It's like
I'm
talking about the
gonna
ice cream at McDonald's or something. It's like, well, it's sort of like a side.
I'm gonna
It's the
premiere
best
my.
thing at McDonald's.
What the
No,
fuck are you talking about?
no, that's not true.
It's a French fry,
It's
obviously.
probably,
I
it's
don't like I
honestly,
don't
it's
like the French fries. They're too little. They make my
get
tummy hurt.
this.
You're a
Shut the.
fucking
What are you
idiot.
talking
That is your
about right now?
worst take.
What are
That
you
is your
talking
That's
worst
my worst
take.
take that the McDonald's
Yes.
French fries make my tummy hurt because there's too much
It,
oil to potato ratio.
Yes.
it's vegetable oil.
That is fundamentally un-American.
It is.
I
That's true. They used
God
to make them.
forbid. God
They used
forbid
to
I go
make
for a
those in like
steak fry or
beef
a
tallow.
curly fry. Jesus Christ.
All right,
I,
whatever's happening
I,
here.
oh God.
Okay, so forget the Golden Arches. Who cares? They will
The
kill
one thing
you.
that I'll say about the Ready or Not, I did not see the other one, but like
Mhm.
all of this, draw a big circle around it. All of this is Get Out.
Yeah.
All of
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
movies are just doing the fucking Get Out thing. And, Ready or Not might be like the best one of them, where it's like girl
Yeah.
walks into a snafu.
Hmm.
Unless there might be something else that I'm missing that would count. I'm not counting Jordan Peele's Us as being that because it's sort of its own thing. But like just we with the recent ones like Blink Twice or Opus, like we've really reached a nadir with these
Yeah.
things. This Ready or Not 2 is probably like the best one of them that I've
Yeah.
seen.
I think we're in the nadir, and the fact that both of these movies are getting just completely crushed at the box office
Yeah.
is proof of that.
Well,
I
they completely the thing to say here, and I know that it was a 2019 movie, and there's a really important little thing that happens there in 2020, but then this pair of directors went on to do Screams 5 and 6. I had to think
Yeah.
about which ones they did.
Mhm.
Why did if you were gonna do a sequel to this movie, 2022 or 2023 was the time to do it.
Yeah.
I
I
know that it's not
remain.
been like crazy long since then, but there was a time to hit this beat.
And
I
also
mean,
the
it
whole
turned.
pitch of the movie is that it is like 10 seconds after the last one ends.
Right, right.
It's like it was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
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 2022 or 2023 was not that long ago, but it turns that wait into like 4 years
And
Yeah.
with
instead of.
with a COVID
Uh-huh.
pandemic in the
And
middle.
pilfering this from Amanda Dobbins, but some people had time to get filler in between those, 30 seconds at the end of the first film and the beginning of the second film.
Good for
I
her.
I I have nothing nice to say about that. It feels insane that like I mean I'm not surprised. I guess maybe, I don't know how good of an actress she is because I haven't really seen her try to act in movies, but it does feel like Samara Weaving would have like done something like from the 2019 to now. But again, I know there's COVID. I don't know. They
Yeah.
fucking put her in one of the Scream movies and then did the Drew Barrymore thing. I was like, okay, that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was in
She
Babylon. She was good in that.
she's good in this movie called Borderline that came out last year, but it's all just doing the same kind of shit.
Yeah.
And then she's got that upcoming movie. Who's the guy in it? And they're trying to kill each other.
Oh,
Jason
it's her and
Segel.
Jason Segel, the remake of The
Oh,
Trip, which
yeah.
I heard The Trip is good. I'm gonna try and watch that before the new one comes out.
Mm.
Oh, that's the thing with Samara Weaving is because I was just looking it up because I was like, what am I missing? Azrael, Eeny Meeny, like movies that just don't fucking exist and like
Yeah.
suck. She's good in Bill and Ted Face the Music though, so
Oh, yeah, that's right.
her and Jack Haven are the
That
Yeah.
movie
the
also
Little Bill
doesn't
and Little Ted.
exist. We don't.
I
It,
was
There's
it
an
no.
lives in here.
extra.
It
I
lives in
was an
here.
extra on that set.
There is
Hey,
no Bill and Ted Legacy sequel in Ba Sing Se.
I got to see a free Kid Cudi concert. That was fun.
A Kid
that's
Cudi concert
nice.
in the 2020s. Good
It's a
old
good
Shaker
movie.
Heights.
Good movie.
But yeah, they will kill you. So it's so funny that two of these movies are basically the same. This one
Satan
has
cults and all the bits.
yeah, Zazie Beetz is the Samara Weaving going to the Virgil Hotel to rescue her sister who's gone missing. Turns out the hotel, which is also like a co-op apparently, they have to regularly sacrifice someone. They don't mention how often. The world building in this is really lazy.
Yeah.
It's just
But
very Get Out. It's very, it's a little
Mhm.
oh my gosh, what's
it's
that Joss Whedon movie?
Much Ado About Nothing.
No, shut up. Cabin in the Woods.
That's a
yeah,
Drew Goddard
It's,
movie.
yeah,
but Joss Whedon was like produced it and wrote it.
No, I know.
It's the two of them.
but yeah. I mean, this
It's
one's like it's a
one of the
little more actiony than the Ready or Nots.
yeah, that's what it looked like from the trailer.
The
More fighty.
Tarantino influence is all over this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, shouts to Is God Is. I will be seeing that
Oh,
stupid movie
we
as
have
soon as possible.
All-timer bad title.
But the title card is fucking sick. So that's my thought. Back to you.
the title card and They Will Kill You also rules,
It
honestly.
is pretty good.
Yeah.
Vivica A. Fox in the latex mask.
I do. What this movie did convince me is if they ever do a Kill Bill Volume 3 and they do it with the Vivica A. Fox's daughter, that character,
Zazie
Zazie Beetz,
Beetz.
she
Yeah,
could do it.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
You'd
good
probably
pick.
try to get like Zendaya first, just because
Ugh.
it's Zendaya, just because
I don't
she's
think
famous like
That would
that.
be such
Zendaya's not going to
atrocious
do that.
casting.
Why not?
She's not going to do that.
Why not?
That's not her.
That's such obviously this would never happen. That's such like an incredible misread of Zendaya's like star
Yeah.
presence. Like
Yeah.
I'm making myself mad about it.
Well, you didn't think that Uma Thurman would be that person
I
when
was
she was doing
5.
movies in the late 80s. So all I'm saying is don't knock it till you try it.
I
But yeah, I
I
think Zazie Beetz would be a great pick for that. I get what you mean because she's got the action plaudits with this and Deadpool 2.
yeah.
I
I
think
was
I think a Kill Bill Volume 3 is an abominable idea.
Unfortunately, I would watch it, but the proof of what you're saying, Morgan, is the Kill Bill Fortnite movie that they made and released alongside the IMAX re-release of
Jesus fucking Christ.
Whole Bloody Affair.
I,
Uh,
I want Tarantino just to decide what his 10th movie is going to be so like we can stop doing this
it's
like
gonna be
ring
a
around the rosy
fucking
bullshit.
Israeli fucking propaganda movie.
That's fine. I won't watch it. But like I want it over. I want it done so I can like stop worrying about it.
Well, maybe a missile will hit his house. Who knows?
Who knows? As long as it doesn't bounce off that balding fucking head of his.
And Cole would have been the one to launch the missile if they had done a third month of porn at his movie theater.
I hope they deep clean those seats, honestly. Jesus Christ, I'm just saying.
Just take a black light in there and be like, ooh, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Doesn't New Beverly have like famously awful seats anway?
There's like
Yeah,
a wooden
they're
bus
they're
thing.
really old.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should fix that.
I said the
Yeah.
name. Do we want to talk about the movie, Cole? It would just be you and me. We can't spoil anything. We can't really talk about it all that much. but we could discuss the drama.
I would love to be a guest at that wedding. Like, oh my God, like imagine going into work on Monday and being like, girl, let me tell you.
Just being the happy-go-lucky DJ who has no idea what's going on.
But yeah, so no, the drama is the latest from Christopher Borley, who directed Dream Scenario, which is unwatchable.
Piece of
Um,
shit.
And Sick of Myself, which is pretty good.
yeah, Sick of Myself is good. I do like Sick of Myself a lot. But no, this movie's about Emma and Charlie, played by Zendaya and Robert Pattinson.
My boy,
Um, a
he's playing a
Boston,
normal guy for the first time in a long time.
Ever?
Maybe.
I think he's kind of playing himself, which is like a cinematic buffoon.
Yeah,
But no,
kind of
Actually,
like
the
liberal
fucking
doofus.
yeah.
the unfortunately
Remember
the
me? Is that where you're going with this?
Yeah, before he
no
gets
what's
9/11.
slow down. Unfortunately, the Dime I Love guy is extremely normal.
That's
This
true.
is this is
Yeah,
like
he just sucks.
That's why that
this
movie's
could
so
be
good.
like the Die My Love cousin. Like they could be cousins to each other and like not like each other because one of them's
Mhm.
like rural trashy and the other one's like city. Also, he's British. He's doing his own accent. I always love when they get to do their own accents, like
Yeah.
in We Live in Time with Andrew Garfield and
Mhm.
Florence Pugh. It's like,
Yeah, man.
nice. They just get to talk like themselves. That's good.
Yeah, no. So this movie's about Emma and Charlie. They're a Boston academia couple getting married, and about a week before,
Cambridge.
why was no one drinking Dunkin'?
He had a lot. He was a Diet Coke boy. He's not local.
Yeah,
He's
but like
not local.
between this and it ends with us, I am like fed up with the misrepresentation of Boston. Like,
But
there's more
he's a
us than the
transplant.
Back Bay. Enough is enough.
He's a tea drinker. I don't know what Zendaya's excuse is. Maybe she doesn't do caffeine.
Well, she's from
You,
Louisiana,
There you
so
go. Boom.
you can get decaf at Dunkin'.
yeah,
They were in there like making smoothies.
yeah, good decaf, regular,
This is like a
which means cream and
wannabe.
sugar.
This is a Manhattan couple who can't afford it, is the thing. Like that's what's really happening here.
I get that he's like the director of an art museum, but like, how the fuck did they land that apartment?
Yeah, daddy's helping.
But yeah, so no, so they're getting married, and about a week before the wedding, they're at the menu tasting, a couple of bottles of skin contact in,
Lining up the
and
photographer.
yeah, getting everything ready, and their two
Is
friends.
she, I'm sorry, is she in the Celine Song movie?
Yeah, Zoe Winters
Okay,
from the
yeah,
Materials.
yeah, yeah,
She's
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
good in Materialists.
Yeah,
Yeah, she is,
I love her.
she's very minor here, just doing like
but
some
so great.
like normal but very comedic bits within because it's like the thing in the movie has happened
Mhm.
and they're like trying to be normal and get their pictures taken and she's like
So
That's
the
awesome. I
the
love
thing
Zoe
is
Winters.
that the thing is that they're, at the tasting, getting their menu finalized. They're all a couple of bottles of wine in, and these two and their two friends, played by Mamadou Athie and Alana Haim, start a game of admitting what's the worst thing they've ever done. And, they go down the line, and honestly, it's mostly trivial stuff. Like, it's not
one of
that
them is
bad in the
not
grand.
trivial. We're not going to talk about it.
One of them
One of
is
them is
really fucked
like
up, genuinely.
one of them I'm like, okay, this is
You're
worse than the thing that this movie's about
It's like
by
that
far.
one is like, oh, you're not a good person.
No.
But Emma then admits to something that she
Has never
planned.
confided in anyone.
She planned it, did not go through with it, and this is basically the equivalent of an atomic bomb going off.
Yeah.
It throws everything out of sync. And so the movie is really just Charlie trying to really explore who Emma is and try to understand her and her psychology. And because he's getting married to her, you're tying the knot eternity and
But
whatever. Although,
he's
get
also
a divorce. Who cares?
he's also a bumbling dumb
Being
fuck.
divorced is very chic.
He's a bumbling dumb fuck who has no idea how to navigate the situation.
Yeah.
And the movie's kind of the most recent examples, kind of Marty Supreme, or really more pointedly, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, where it's
Hmm.
like this psychological carousel of gags and provocations and like dialogue and things like where it's almost cartoonishly anxiety inducing to a point where I really and I can't get into it without talking about the topic, so I won't, but
Hmm.
it really did not gel. Like it just didn't feel grounded in realistic human perspectives after a certain point to me. It felt a little too cartoonish, and in terms of the actual topic at hand, like it was trying to give the audience an easy out instead of like combing through or discussing the material in a serious way. It felt
Yeah.
like we were doing it on the surface level to do jokes. And to the movie's credit, that might
The
have been a
jokes are
smarter
great.
approach. It might have been a smarter approach than getting deeper and doing it clumsily and badly. Shouts
Hmm.
to my perception of dream scenario and some of the things going on that are maybe a little, yeah, connected
Yeah.
to this concept. Um, it's probably better that it's lighter, but it just felt like the impact was so much less. And to Cole's point, fucking hilarious movie. This had me rolling. So if you
Hmm.
just go in for a comedy good time, I think you'll come out comedy good time.
Yeah.
But I ultimately had to
It's
wrestle with
great
myself
cringe
about it.
comedy, but
Really, really funny movie. There's a bit where there's a character recording on a laptop and it keeps like doing pop-ups or they forget to hit the record button. And I laughed so fucking hard. Like it just was again, I can't say but it's like the most I've ever laughed at something about a topic.
yeah.
Actually, again, Davey, this is the thing I've got to tell you. You'll know
I'm seeing
immediately.
it. I'm seeing it tomorrow. I at this point I have a couple guesses. I'm not gonna like delve into them, but like
Yeah.
I was planning on waiting until after my trip to see this, and then Zach, you saw it and said you in particular need to see it. So I'm gonna double
You
that
do.
ready or not
You
Hmm.
do.
to tomorrow
And
because
it's not a guarantee that you're gonna be like, this is my shit. It's just
I don't
you
even think I'm going to like it.
you should you should be engaged with
Yeah.
this material. It'll
And
be
I
Hmm.
interesting to
know
talk about with you.
and I know if I don't see it for a week, I'm going to end up getting the entire thing spoiled because of
Yeah.
how the conversation's
Apparently
already
that happened a
shifting.
year ago on Twitter. Thank God I'm not there.
Yes,
Although,
I know people that know it, like even at work, like
A
random
little
people.
a little birdie in the industry told me like a year ago what the premise was.
Hmm.
And I do want to push back a little bit on the idea
yes,
that
thank you.
set up as a twist because that kind of drives me nuts. Like if this was 20 years ago or 30 years ago even, it would be in the trailer. Like a premise is not a twist.
No,
I agree. I'm sort of half and half. I wish that if we were going to try to keep it under wraps, that the trailer would have done that even more.
Yeah, because
And it's
the second trailer makes it really obvious.
all you need to tell me is Robert Pattinson and Zendaya are going to get married, and then it's going to go fucking crazy. Again, like if I had legs, I'd kick you. Like, yeah, the getting married is a stressful time, so it's a stressful movie about getting married. And all of a sudden, they just fucking sidewind you with this thing.
Hmm.
But then when you see the trailer, you're like, okay, well, I know the dynamic of it all already, right?
Yeah.
The
yeah,
premise sets up who we're focusing on and all that
Hmm.
kind of stuff. So no, I'm with you. I'm sort of trying to like preserve it because it was a surprise for me, and that's clearly how A24 and whoever wants to like present the movie. But yeah, I think in a way it's so that you have the shock value of that because it's more entertainment and comedy and surprises and left turns. I even thought of weapons because of the way that it's like, yeah, we're
Hmm.
not really gonna do this thing. We're gonna make a movie all around it that's got all these entertaining beats and jokes and what have you.
yeah. And like I like this new kind of trend of more obscured marketing. Um, but it is a little annoying that the trailers for the drama are and there's this thing that we're not going to tell you that's really fucked up and interesting and go see it. It reminds me of the
Hmm.
Long Legs marketing campaign a lot.
Oh
Yep.
Or even
yeah.
like in terms of like other Osgood Perkins movies, like the Keeper marketing campaign as well, of just there's a thing, you don't know what the thing is, and then you see the thing, and sometimes it's cool, and sometimes it's like, oh, it's the devil, whatever, fucking jerk off motion. But
It's
it,
crazy the degree to which Damian McCarthy has just evolved Osgood Perkins.
God, I'm
Yeah.
so excited for Hokum. I can't fucking wait for that shit.
Looks
Funnier
neat.
guy.
Looks good.
Looks really good. But yeah, it's cool that we're doing this and not giving everything away in trailers. It feels a little gamified, like all film
Totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
work all film stuff
Yeah.
is these days, but it's working and it's getting people excited to see
It
stuff. So like,
Yeah.
what
I
is
will
it?
say
Who
I saw
cares?
this with a very full crowd. Other people I've talked to
Same.
have also seen it, so the star power is getting people out there. I'm gonna say this
Hmm.
before we drop the topic. It's not my favorite Zendaya movie because obviously Challengers and Dune are better.
And Malcolm and Marie.
I could make the point. I don't hate that movie
Oh,
by
I
any
was
means.
kidding.
No, I don't hate that movie.
I
I
don't hate
think
it
it's fine.
either.
But she
What?
is really good here.
Yeah.
Like this is maybe as much as I've really liked her as an actress, and Robert Pattinson is great here. Like if you wanted more of his dirtbag antics in Die My Love, you will get them here. He is really, really funny, really good in that lead role, and just like kind of reminding me, like, oh yeah, love to have him around. And in movies that are I'm not really even trying to like shade Batman or shade his presence in Dune or anything. It's just nice to kind of have him as like the lead of a quote unquote normal movie, just like April release
Hmm.
movie.
This sounds like it might be utterly repellent to me, but we're gonna
It's
find out tomorrow.
it's too fucking funny.
Yeah.
You'll it's really funny.
It is genuinely hilarious. I'll give it that.
Yeah, the most repellent person there's I'm not even going to tell you who it is. There is a person in this movie that you will find repellent, but we'll
Cool,
talk about that later.
cool.
Uh,
I guess
uh,
I'll close out this segment myself briefly by talking about Hoppers, which I
Oh
saw and
yeah,
enjoyed.
oh yeah.
Pixar hasn't had an original thought in like 15 years
correct. Yeah.
outside of Soul, and even then, that's sort of they're just
It's
yeah, let's anthropomorphize somebody.
Yeah, what if we made an abstract thing into a workplace as a Pete Doctor idea he's been doubling down on since Monsters Inc.
Yeah,
And he's good
uh,
at it. We love it. Well, nah, we're not going to go there. We're not going to say that. But the
we love the
movies,
movies he
we love the
makes.
movies.
Yeah, Hoppers. I had a good time. It's funny. It's from the We Bare Bears guy, which is a show you may have seen entertaining Instagram clips of. I'm not sure anybody watched it when it was airing. But I had a great time, laughed a lot. Did not have a great time with the similarly children's oriented Super
Oh
Mario
God.
Galaxy movie.
Yeah.
Um, there's been an instinct throughout much of our community to praise this as the next great evil. Um, I totally understand why. Um, I just like I'm a grown ass man. Am I supposed to feel an emotion about this?
I don't see how it's
Like,
worse than Minions.
I don't see how it's worse than the other evil video game adaptation that came out this year,
Wait, which one is that?
Return to Silent Hill.
Oh yeah, right.
oh well,
Perma skip.
That's the great evil. I don't give a fuck
I
about Chris Pratt.
yeah. I honestly had a little bit better of a time with this one because it didn't even pretend to have a plot, which the first one totally did and was really annoying. And there's like holding out for a hero needle drops and like character like shut up. Just shut up and do the Mario stuff. Feed my lizard brain. Like,
I
what are we
just think
doing
it's a
here?
uniquely bad, and we've known this ever since they made that original movie, and they just went off the wall crazy with it because nothing in Mario lends itself to narrative storytelling or
Nope.
movies. Like, it's a game where you jump on platforms and run from left to right, or in the 3D versions in 3 dimensions. But like, there's no story here, man. It's like very pointedly for like 50 years, the story is your princess is in another castle. That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing about this lends itself to making movies, like at all.
And to that degree, I think this is maybe the slightly better one because it has Yoshi in it. And much
That
to
makes
my
sense.
surprise, it wasn't when they announced Donald Glover was voicing Yoshi, I figured it would be like, "Hey guys, I'm Yoshi, played by Troy from Community." But no, he's like, "Yoshi." the whole
Okay.
time. So it's fine. He does fun stuff.
Yeah.
It's cute for the kids. That should have been the whole movie.
It's definitely the saving grace of all this elimination shit. Clearly a movie for 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
But the degree to which people are angry is like this is the TikTokification of movies for 3-year-olds, and it
yeah.
doesn't feel good. And
Yeah.
it doesn't feel good. It's like deeply, deeply boring. Uh, but I just like I don't. Maybe it's because of something another video game franchise that I got myself through in the time between our last podcast session and this one. But I just couldn't find it in my heart to really feel anything about this.
I think part of it is just also we should demand better of stuff made for our children.
It's 100% true, but that's been true for 20 years.
Yeah.
Right.
But
It's not
like
any,
something,
That's what I'm saying about the
yeah.
Minions. Like
But like,
or Grinch or whatever else this
mhm,
fucking studio has put out.
yeah. But like even now with, like AI algorithms and Coco Melon, like something does feel especially egregious lately. I'm
Yeah.
not saying there's like a conspiracy to make our children stupid so that way they consistently vote Republican, but something feels up.
That's pretty specific for something you're not saying. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen this one yet, but my feelings on the first one were it's probably one of Illumination's best films. I think Sing is a repellent piece of shit. Secret Life of Pets is awful. Most of the Despicable Me's are unwatchable. Where it's like the Mario movie, I was like, this is
Got
probably
Donkey Kong in it. Donkey
yeah,
Kong is Seth Rogen for some fucking reason, but he's
yeah.
here.
It's a hell of a lot better than the Lorax, a movie that had like partnerships with automobile manufacturers. What the fuck?
Oh my God.
That is
Illumination has
a
never made a good movie, and I
no.
doubt they will
I
anytime soon.
I think the first Despicable Me is fine, and
Nope.
that's it.
Nope. First Despicable Me is a boring piece of shit.
I
I get
like
it.
the scene where he freezes everyone in line to get his coffee first because
Yeah.
I feel that
It
spiritually.
that movie just feels like empty margins. Like there's no life in it. There's no
Yeah.
spark in it. It's just so dull. And then it immediately falls off a cliff and gets a lot worse after that. So
Yeah.
there's that.
I think the thing I ultimately come down to is just like experientially watching either the Super Mario movie or the Super Mario
Mhm.
Galaxy movie.
Yeah.
I they're as good as each other, I think. You can make a fair argument that one is worse than the other. I think I enjoyed this new one a little more because there's no shit like the nihilistic blue star from the first one that's like, is this who is this for? What is the purpose of this?
Yeah.
The Super Mario Galaxy movie is extremely direct in its ambitions, which are crack wise a couple times and do a lot of pretty lights and
Yeah. Jangling
Mhm.
choreographed
keys.
and animated fights. And like, I which and again, that's really all the first one was trying to do. There was just no pretense about it. So
Mhm.
I admire. I sort of I guess sitting there and watching both of them in the theaters, which I have done for some reason.
You're not even like
Uh
a Mario guy.
nope, don't care. Do not care.
Yeah.
Uh these should have been Yoshi movies.
Yeah, 100%. Or Star Fox movies,
Yeah.
or Mario
I
Kart movies, or Donkey Kong movies. Like literally all of those are better ideas.
the one thing
They'll get to it at
that
some point.
the
Yeah, I
single thing
guess.
that made me go ooh in this movie was when Star Fox was introduced and it cuts
Yeah,
to like a fairly interesting 2D animated style because he's like galaxy hopping and his original galaxy has a different animation style. And I was like, that's a good idea. I'd 3-star that movie. Um, yeah, this sucks. It's bad. It's grim. It's not a good time to be a baby.
yeah.
Sure.
Sad.
There is one more movie that I want to bring up just real quick because I did get to see it in theaters. It is called The King's Warden. It is a South Korean movie. It is their third highest grossing movie in I'm assuming in both Koreas because we don't really have a lot of box office information from up top. Um, but it is a historical
I don't
drama.
think they get those.
The
Yeah,
I think they
North
no.
make their
Korea.
own.
I'm pretty sure North Korea has their own vibrant film industry.
Yeah. I'd love to see one someday. Not in
I mean,
person.
there's that Italian North Korean animated film about the sinking of the Titanic.
That sounds fucking fun. We should zoom that.
Do you
Um,
guys see that they're doing? I sent this in the chat, but nobody responded. Do you see that they're doing the Americans, but with North and South
Oh
Korea,
yeah, I saw
yes.
that.
and Lee Byung-hun is the Matthew Rhys role?
I'll
That's
watch
smart.
it.
Yeah.
That'll be good. But yeah, so the King's Warden is about a real king, Yi Hongwei, and I do have it up on my phone to pronounce it correctly, who gets exiled and is sent to a little village, basically to just wait out his inevitable death. The village is saying, "Oh, hooray! We're gonna have someone like a royal come in, and people will bring him gifts because they're waiting for the king to return to power, and it'll be like a great moment of prosperity." But this guy is not never going to come back. He's going to get murdered. So he's just kind of a burden on the town, and it's Doc Hollywood. It's you fancy noble learns the simple ways of life and grows to appreciate the town. It's simple, it's sweet. By all accounts, the history seems to be more or less accurate. Um, but it's always fun to find a movie where I'm the only white guy in the theater. Because it's just a bunch of Korean people seeing it. It's quite fun. It's a lovely little picture. So I think it's finishing up any kind of U.S. run. There's a big like Korean
Mhm.
diaspora in Nashville where I'm at, so that's why we got it. But it'll probably be on Netflix or something sometime soon if people are looking for a nice little movie that is probably going to follow under many people's radars.
Nice. I'm gonna add two more movies really quick. So the first one, I did see Mark by Sophia, the new film from Sofia Coppola, which is a documentary about her
Power scary.
30
Like hard
her
scary.
30 plus year friendship with Mark Jacobs, as he's preparing for one of his runways. I think it was the spring summer
Th-
2024
This is
collection
an Instagram reel. Why is this a documentary that exists?
because
Why
we
did that
love
happen?
fashion.
Oh God. I like
I,
what? Why?
I had a great time watching
It
this.
is a
Like it's just fun to
commercial.
get into
It is an advertisement.
his history, and sometimes he lets his guard down, and that reveals a lot about whatever he's designing at that particular moment.
I'm
And also
feeling
just like
shirts. That's my Mark Jacobs impression. I've never heard of this man speak.
This could be pants.
Ooh, oh, a tie.
Shut up. And
listen,
no
the
one.
man brought grunge to fashion, so
And he should be shot for that.
I think that Kurt Cobain and like Lane Staley brought grunge to fashion.
Yeah,
But
the concept of a skinned knee did that. Who gives a
yeah, right,
shit?
right. Like
I'm talking about particularly the world of haute couture.
which yeah,
Isn't
that's
that the
that's
girl who has the
bad.
podcast?
I'm going to shoot you.
It's
I
bad.
don't even know what
Yeah,
you
no,
meant by
I
Was
thought this was
Hawk 2 a joke?
I'm gonna shoot you again.
that.
I
He's
hate you
he's
so
about to
much.
unload the second barrel of the shotgun.
Ooh,
Yeah, no, this was
Mag.
fun. I had a great time.
Davey's
It's
gonna go
like
to LA and Cole's gonna mag dump into him.
Like the
it's not
Terminator.
even 90 minutes. It's just diving into the world of high fashion and what it takes to put a show together, get everything ready, dealing with factories and different fabrics and different patterns and techniques and materials, and like really just how down to the wire it is even. But yeah, I had a good time with this. Recommend it if you're interested in fashion, seeing how it all comes together. Honestly, probably a good thing to watch before the Avengers Endgame level sized event that is incoming at the beginning of May, which is Devil Wears Prada 2.
I had no idea that movie had this much cultural cachet at all. At all.
Cole's gonna open his own
So,
front
so,
door and be
so,
like,
so,
"Are you Davey Peppers?"
I know, Zach, that you think this has something to do with you select that lumpy blue sweater from, whatever tragic casual corner you picked it out of. But,
TJ Maxx, let's go. Look what that's a line in the trailer or something. It's like,
You're wearing a sweater that was pictured to you by the very people in that room from a
okay,
pile of stuff.
okay. I
It's a
see.
PlayStation hoodie. I don't get what the big deal is.
I simply I I saw The Devil Wears Prada. It's okay. It's good. It's funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. You should never use me as a barometer for how good a comedy is or how much people like it. Ever.
Yeah.
We don't.
Ever.
hmm
Just don't do
hmm
that. Do not do that. But I truly did not know that it had any sort of like cultural weight to it. Like
Oh
of the
yeah,
of the level of like the sequel's gonna make $500 million type of
at
cultural weight,
least.
Yeah.
right? Like they made a Zoolander sequel and I'm pretty sure it flopped. I mean, it might have done okay, but like Zoolander
That
was
movie is awful.
but like Zoolander, but just to be honest with you, people surely liked Zoolander more than they liked The Devil Wears Prada. Although there's kind of a male-female split there, I'm sure. Like I'm sure that The Devil Wears Prada is pulling in more of like the female audience and like actually appealing to people who give a shit about fashion, whereas Zoolander's just like a goofy fucking comedy.
Yeah,
But of the
Zoolander is
two,
goofy. Devil Wears Prada understands like why people
right, right, right,
live
right.
and breathe and die for
But
fashion.
all I'm saying is, of the two movies, clearly one of them had more cultural weight in the 2000s, no longer the case. It's just kind of an interesting study in how that can evolve. I think Devil Wears Prada was plenty popular in 2000. I'm not trying to make it out like it was some also ran, but it wasn't. I was there, man. I was there, man. I don't remember it being like a thing, but maybe it was. Maybe it just went right over my head.
It was a thing, people were waiting on bated breath to see what Anna Wintour would say about it. And she likes it.
I I'm so sorry for this tangent. I started looking up the Zoolander numbers because I was gonna make a
Yeah,
point about how Zoolander came out right after 9/11. So like we can't really have a good barometer because it famously did super poorly because of that. There is a third Zoolander movie. There is an animated Zoolander film that came out only in the UK and Ireland in 2016 on Netflix, and it was released in America in 2020 on CBS All Access. There is a third Zoolander movie has hit the World
it is
Trade
in the
Center.
World Trade Center.
PBS All Access. That's a phrase I haven't heard in a long time.
That's insane.
I there's it's an animated superhero comedy film.
What?
God.
Yeah,
Oh
with
God.
like Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson. What the fuck? Sorry, I just needed to
No,
share
no,
that with you
no,
all.
no.
I'm going to pivot from that to what I would say is the best film of the year so far, which I know I just talked about, yes, on our last episode, but this one's even better. Glad to see the art house is doing well. This film is Dry Leaf, a film by Alexandre Koberidze. He's a Georgian filmmaker, the country, not the state. This film's about a photographer named Lisa who goes missing. And the last known detail that anyone has is that she's been going around rural Georgia taking pictures of football stadiums. And I mean soccer, not American football. So her father, Irakel, is going around the country traveling along with Lisa's best friend, Lavani, who is invisible. You don't see him. And there's a lot of characters in this movie that are like the narrator says they're there, but you just don't see them. So he's traveling around the country trying to find her, asking people if they've seen her because he's trying to reconnect. She had moved back in with her parents a couple of months ago, um, but decided to run away and take all these photos just due to personal issues about moving back in with her parents. And so a lot of this movie is just going around the Georgian landscape and the countryside and looking at all these football fields and these tiny villages and abandoned homes and spending time in nature, whether you're at a pond or you're at the riverside or you're in fields or dusty roads in the mountains covered by fog, just looking at the donkeys and the cats and the cattle and the dogs and just spending all that time in nature and, seeing like the beauty of the sunrise and sunset and moonlight. The movie's 3 hours long and it was shot on a 240p camcorder. So it is all about the structure of the image and how that gives a new beauty by stripping away so much detail that you're just left with blocks.
Mhm.
I loved it. It's my favorite film of the year. It's
Yeah, I'm
spectacular
really
filmmaking.
excited. Ever since I saw like any information about it, partially with your new neighbor who used to live here in Dallas was talking. It looks
not this with them.
really fucking cool. This absolutely just kind of like, oh yeah, that not gonna be for everybody, but it's gonna be for some people very, very, very heavily, if that makes sense.
Mhm. Yeah. Also, beautiful score, best score of the year. Felt very Badalamenti in places,
Sure.
honestly.
I'm inclined to bring up Julia Lokhdev. So she's got that documentary coming out on movie,
Hmm.
Russian filmmaker Julia Lokhdev, and has that movie The Loneliest Planet, which is
Uh,
set in the Georgian landscape. And it's, Gal Garcia Bernal and this girl just traipsing along in the mountains of whatever the Caucasian, what is it, Kaus, whatever that is. I've never known how to pronounce that region of the world.
This
I
kind
will
of movie
say,
is firmly in the category of I would definitely be down to check this out if it was playing in theaters here. I don't
yeah.
really have all that much interest in watching a 3 hour 240p movie on my television where I can
That's a good
like
point.
look at my phone and go get something to eat. And like it's not really built for that for me. Like I'm much more willing to
Yeah.
experiment with something like that that would be out of my wheelhouse traditionally if it played in a movie
You kind
theater.
of got to surrender to it in the theater. That's the gimmick,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, and that's what made it work, honestly.
And sometimes that really does go where you want it to go, and then sometimes you find yourself, me, watching Ennis Men on a theater screen and being like, just Homelander face. Like, what the fuck is this?
Mercifully short film, and even then, it should be like an hour shorter.
Buddy,
Should
that
be
movie
like
should be 3 minutes long.
Yes,
maybe 15.
movie
I'm going
space.
5 max.
I will say I can't wait for Dryleaf to get a 4K Blu-ray release so Zach has an aneurysm in the Discord chat.
I have no problem with this Speed Racer thing. It's just kind of a curious, like, Revenge of the Sith, Speed Racer. These are movies, Zodiac. These are movies that are shot on 1080p. How the fuck did
Miami
you make a
Vice,
4K?
Miami
Miami
Vice
Vice, yeah,
35 millimeter prints.
yeah. Or like
Gorgeous.
I own a 4K version of Inland Empire, which I believe was shot on 360 or 38, whatever the
Yeah.
fuck it is, 540.
Shot on whatever cheap camcorder
Yeah,
David Lynch picked out
right.
of Best Buy.
Shot
Yeah,
on a
and,
flip.
and like they had to show Speed Racer on 35 millimeter in most places. So
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
I was reflecting on that. That's probably one of the first movies I ever saw on digital projection because it was like a new theater in town that had
mm.
that.
Mm.
Hmm.
I don't think those were definitely all installed by Avatar,
Hmm.
but
Same place I
like
saw Avatar, yeah.
I don't remember any
Yeah.
like feeling, oh, this is new digital projection. I don't remember that really being
You
a
could
thing.
probably, I don't know that I would have been able to articulate it. I mean, I was old enough. I was probably 16, but like when you watch Speed Racer, you're like, well, there's definitely something different going on here, right?
Yeah.
Just the degree of
Yeah.
digital shit happening in that movie.
It was pretty fast because when I worked at a movie
It was.
theater, they had a couple people who worked there for a long time remember like stealing like 35 millimeter shit from like right when everything changed over. And so as a gift, I have a 35 millimeter trailer for Rob Zombie's Halloween
Oh God, yeah.
Mm.
because
Oh
like it
seven,
was like that year, and
yeah.
they were
Oh
like,
seven, oh eight.
yeah. So they just like
Or
a bunch of
was it
people
even
stole
oh nine?
trailers.
Because was it Halloween 2? It wasn't 2,
It
was
was
it?
it was Halloween one,
Okay,
so
so it was
it
oh 07 or
was
oh 08. Yeah.
it was recent enough that they hadn't gotten rid of it.
Mm,
When all the
Mm.
changes
yeah.
were made. So
It
yeah,
was
I
a
have
it was a rave cinemas for us, and it opened in like late oh 07, early oh 08, and that was like the first place that had like the Christie digital projectors.
yeah.
And it was like, ooh, this is fancy. Ooh. They didn't do a print for this, did they, Cole?
Oh God, no.
It would have been interesting. I mean, I saw you say God no, but I saw fuck Dancer in the Dark on 35 millimeter because that's how they originally, I mean, in the 2000s, that's like how they had to release it.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't really have the option otherwise.
Right. So, but it's an interesting way to see a DV for sure.
Mhm.
The mixture of like I mean, I'm sure like Blair Witch was that way back in the day.
Yeah.
Um, the
Yeah.
mixture of like the projector flicker with the, just obvious digital artifacty thing is like this is uncanny. Like this is almost difficult to look at times.
I guess I didn't realize that Dancer in the Dark was shot on DV.
Yeah. Well,
I'll
that's if
watch
you
it.
you
Everyone says
clearly
it's the
haven't
one I'll
seen it.
like. Yeah, no, I haven't
No, the
seen
one that you
it.
will like is Breaking the Waves.
That's fair.
Hmm.
Dance to the Dark is one I'm interested in because it's musical.
I wish you luck. It's a great movie.
I did I did get the Breaking the Waves criterion that's out of print from a friend who watched it and didn't like it for the price of a movie ticket a couple weeks
Goated,
ago.
Fuck
So
yeah.
that's pretty
goated,
cool.
goated
Not bad.
movie. It's I think I've ultimately come around on that being the best Von Trier movie. I really like Melancholia, but I think it's Breaking the Waves. Europe is really
Melancholy is
good too.
good.
So is Dogville. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, anyway, I'm right.
Well, it
You're both
is.
wrong. Yeah, thank you.
Whatever. It's better than fucking Nymphomaniac, I guess. That's the other one I've seen. That movie sucks.
Yeah, I'm not going to bat for that one.
Dave, you haven't seen House to Check, Bill?
No, that
You
doesn't
should
seem like
go.
It's
something I would
dude, it's,
enjoy.
it's fucking
It,
hilarious.
it's really, really funny, is the thing.
I you've all said
Yes.
this. I've been hearing y'all say this for 7 years, and I'm sure you're right.
Fine.
One of these days.
Hilarious.
Uh,
Anybody got any rewatches they want to talk about? Rewatches, loved
Yeah.
scores, things of that nature?
I do. Uh, I saw AI, artificial intelligence, at
Yeah.
a
No,
theater.
no, that's 5 stars. That's later. That's later, Davey.
All right, whatever.
That's right. I forgot that we
didn't you?
split
Did you
that up
not
for
get
some
the memo?
reason.
Literally, did he get the memo?
I got the memo a long time ago, but I
Like
guess
a
I
long
didn't
time
realize that
ago.
they were so exclusive. My apologies.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
rewatch thing might be a category that we drop at some point, but it's
Yeah.
just kind of a place to talk.
Just
Not the 5 stars
roll it
though.
in.
Yeah,
Rewatch
then no.
Atlantics. That
Yeah, there you
rules.
go. Yes, it does. I rewatched Heat because I went over to my friend's house to watch a baseball game and he had Heat on, and so I watched like an hour and a half of it while
Is
like
your friend
standing in
Chris
the living room.
Ryan?
No, I
Hmm.
wish, but then I would have to live in Los Angeles.
I'm in CR cosplay today.
The greatest city in the world.
Fuck that. Anyway,
Yeah, on a similar note, I rewatched LA Confidential for the first time in like
yeah,
10 years
Ooh.
probably.
Yeah, that movie
Um,
rules.
that's the best kind of movie that there is.
Yes.
LA
Um,
Noir.
yeah. That was a decent game, but the
Yeah.
movies are better. Uh, yeah. I want to read these books now. There's four of them in the LA Quartet by James Elroy.
I think I've
Uh,
always fucked myself up like comparing it too much to Chinatown or something because like obviously it's
yeah,
not that.
it's Chinatown in it's less Chinatown than Who Framed Roger Rabbit is.
So LA Confidential is to Rocky as Chinatown is to Raging Bull. Something like that. Like movies that I
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
movies that are good, movies that are entertaining, and then like all-timer fuck me up core about the same subject matter.
Yeah, I got lost in the calculus there for a second.
Yeah.
Great movie. Guy
Guy
Pearce.
Pearce. Guy Pearce? Guy Pearce? I don't know how the
I
fuck
don't
to
know.
pronounce his Australian ass name.
Yeah. Uh,
He's a revelation in this.
yeah.
Also, Kevin Spacey's great.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. He's playing an extremely heterosexual presenting man, which is funny. Except for the scenes where he's looking at Simon Baker from The Mentalist and he's like,
I think
Danny
yeah,
that's fair.
DeVito.
Valid.
Danny Dorito.
shout out that clip of Guy Pearce talking about Kevin Spacey where he's like, he's a little handsy, that Kevin.
I
Yeah,
do
yeah.
actually have a rewatch bump, but I'll cover it somewhere else. Anybody else got any of these? Not the 5 stars. Sorry for the confusion.
Nope.
The other category, and I'll continue to explain this one, is project watches. So I know Morgan's got something here, and I've got something here.
Yeah.
So one of the this is just anything that we've got ongoing, director filmography, working on ticking off boxes, filling up a list, etc. One of the ones that I've started doing is I'm trying to watch all of the movies released in the Criterion Eclipse series, of which there are currently 47, about to be 48. They're all available. Like literally all of them are available. There's like over 200 of them. I've seen probably 30. I'm not going to talk about each and every movie because that would be too many movies. But I did catch up with Early Spring by Ozu, which is in series three,
Hmm.
Late Ozu. Great movie. I think I'm running out of the Ozu season movies. I think I'm running out of the springs and the summers and the autumns and such, and now I got to start working on all the other ones. Um, I mean, what do you say? It's an Ozu movie. This one's later and bleaker, and it's about infidelity. Those are my pitches for you for the movie Early Spring. So it's a little darker and drearier than some of the others that you might be familiar with. Been watching back here on the shelf, documentaries by Louis Malle. That's series number two. Um, I haven't seen all of them yet, just a couple, but they're very like direct cinema. I'm in the auto plant. I'm following the Tour de France. The Tour de France one is so good. It's like 18 minutes long and it's just really vibrant and funny and like zooming down the mountains. It's just such an awesome time. Uh, I this was kind of like I farmed it out. I think I was in chat and I was like, Jake, pick a number between 1 and 50. And so I watched three Gainsborough movies, Gainsborough Pictures, 1940s English studio. They made these like melodramas that are like crazy over the top, but also a little flatly written, also a little like just like boring in terms of how they're directed, I would say. But those were interesting. There's The Wicked Lady, The Man in Gray, and the other one's not coming to mind, so we're just going to skip it. And then I recently, so I don't actually have this as an Eclipse set. I own the Agnes Varda Complete Works box set, which of
Mhm.
course includes the five movies released in the Eclipse Varda in California. So I rewatched Uncle Yanko, which is one of the short films on that, where she goes and meets her Greek uncle who lives in Sausalito, California, outside San Francisco, and he like lives in a houseboat and he's like this weird art guy. Very charming movie. I bumped the rating on that. I liked it. And then I rewatched Murmur, which is a movie about LA as told through its street art and murals. It's just this documentary where she's kind of like capturing. It's kind of like an alien comes to LA and is like, "Whoa, look at all these murals. Let's look at these for an hour and a half." And that's the movie. And it's quite nice. It's quite um all those Varda movies in California are interesting because I actually wanted to make a point about this. Cole shared with us about like Brian Cox was popping off again, yelling
Mhm.
about people saying like Ian McKellen's mid or whatever the fuck is going on with him at all
He just
times.
said that the Lord of the Rings performances are not to his
Did
taste.
he say that it was the Lord of the Rings, or did he say
It
Ian
was
McKellen,
no, it
the
was Lord of the
star of
Rings.
Lord of the Rings?
It was
It was the Lord of the Rings. He was like, I Gandalf's not to my taste.
He didn't watch those fucking movies. Anyway, moving on.
He was in one of them.
No, he wasn't.
No, he was not. He was in the
The
fucking
War
War
of the
for the
Rohirrim,
Rohirrim. It's different.
a movie I have a collectible cup for. If anyone knows the War of the Rohirrim, it's me.
That movie is utter shit.
It looks like trash.
It's
right.
garbage. Really bad.
It's gonna be better than whatever the fuck they're making now, though.
Somehow we always wind up fucking talking about Quentin Tarantino. But Brian Cox hollering about Quentin Tarantino, talking about all you see is the director. Right, he doesn't let the performances breathe or whatever his stupid point is. I don't agree with that, and I'm not going to argue with it. But I was thinking about, I mean, like in a way, that's just the definition of auteurism. But I was thinking about it very much watching these Varda movies again, particularly the California stuff, because it's like she was both a narrative fiction filmmaker and a documentary filmmaker. But no matter what she did, she was always making an Agnes Varda movie. Like it is even more than Tarantino, or at least to the exact same degree. It is impossible to divorce her personality, her perspective, her interests from anything that she made. So when she's making a movie in LA, it's like, well, you're not from. She made this like Black Panthers movie, and then there's this one about LA where it's like this French hippie, first, second wave feminist like not from the culture. And so there's like this limitation, and she invites you to kind of get in on her limitation to see like this is how a French woman would make this movie. Hole, who lives in Los Angeles, or me, who lives in Texas, we would make two different versions of this movie. So it's just kind of an interesting thing. Like again, I guess I'm mostly just disagreeing with Brian Cox, where it's like, yeah, I mean, like that's kind of what a filmmaker is, and it's one of
Hmm.
those things where for her a documentary really rises or falls based on how much its subject matter coheres with her style, how much it syncopates with what she really is captivated by and interested in capturing. So when she does a movie about the English-French actress Jane Birkin or Daguerreotype, which is like literally just a documentary about people in her neighborhood, those are like magical, transportive. And then this one was, I don't know, maybe it's because I am American. It's just kind of an interesting thing that I wind up wrestling with these movies of hers that I think is enriching. Like it's like a limitation or like I'm not rating this movie very highly, but it's actually kind of captivating to me just to get into the meat of that. So the Eclipse movies are cool, I think, because they may be directors that you know, and they may even be like Daisies is an Eclipse movie in the Czech
Yeah.
New Wave set. That's a major movie that has its own standalone release, but a lot of them are more under the radar, things that you might not go out of your way to go find. So, been fun going through those. That's it for me. Anybody else have like one of those types of projects things?
Yeah, yeah, I do.
Yeah, thought you might.
Uh, uh, so I announced on the last episode that I would be going through all of the Resident Evil motion pictures,
Resident
uh,
Weevil.
up to and including the shitty CG ones. Um, so thus far in that quest, I'm about halfway through. I'm a little over halfway, because I think I only have five left in total. But I did watch all of the Mila Jovovich W.S. Anderson
The
verse.
the other Paul Anderson.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, if that's not the worst film series I've seen in full, I can't hazard a guess as to what is. The rundown is at the top is the third one, which was directed by the Highlander director, like the original Highlander director, and the Highlander 2 director, which is famously terrible. Um, but it looks and operates like a real movie. It's just not remarkable in any way whatsoever. Um, and in second, we have the first one, uh, which is nonsense and really boring. And then in third, we have Apocalypse, which was the second one, which was barely watchable, but it had enough like stupid early 2000s charm that I was like, okay, I at least know what this is. Uh, we're all at 1 star or lower movies at this point. Uh, I would give three and one a 2 star and a 1.5 respectively. Uh, then I would go with Resident Evil, the final chapter, which is a 1 star, which is just like a victory lap for a franchise that had no victories.
Someone died
It's
making that one.
and then the movie came out, so which is
Yeah.
worse, Uh, sorry.
John Landis type shit.
Uh, then the duo that should land Paul W.S. Anderson in jail of Afterlife and Retribution. The former of which is a 1/2 star and the worst movie I've seen since we zoomed Exorcist Believer. And uh,
My.
the the ever so slightly better Resident Evil Retribution, which is it's just non-functional as a narrative. Um, yeah. Okay, so the part of this with me is that there's the incoming Zach Cregger Resident Evil movie, which is sure to be the first good, maybe great even video game movie because it's directed by a director. Um, and
What's
that's
our
the
best
first time
right now? Detective Pikachu? Sonic?
I
Detective
would.
Pikachu.
No, I like the Sonics more than that one. Uh,
There's some TV stuff between Fallout, the first season of Last of Us, Castlevania.
yeah.
Yeah, but
TV
that's
they've done a little better.
yeah. It actually might be Sonic 3. You're probably right. I think the
I've not
Vikander
seen
Tomb
any of
Raider is
those.
okay.
Shut up. Respectfully.
Uh, for me, it's
I'm your
Resident Evil.
guest.
For me, it's
Yeah, yeah,
Resident
yeah.
Evil.
Then you
Welcome
should
to
know what to
Raccoon
expect.
City.
Oh God.
Um,
From the
which
Oh
is
director of
Lord.
Primate.
yeah, much better than Primate.
So far,
Um,
none of them are better than like Edge of Tomorrow, Live Die Repeat, like whatever you're gonna call that movie, or like
no,
Scott Pilgrim. Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Can I count that? I can't count that. I know I
no,
can't, but
no.
like
You
I
can't.
can though. I mean, it's like drenched in video game ephemera though.
Yeah. That's the only way to make a good video game movie is shit like Scott Pilgrim
Wreck-It
or like
Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's not true. Zach Kreger's going to do it.
Yeah.
As of April 4th, 2026. It
Who's
hasn't happened
gonna
yet.
who's gonna win an Oscar from it?
Paul Walter Hauser.
I hope it's Austin Abrams. I like that guy so
Richard
much.
Yeah.
Jewell himself.
The actual best performance in Weapons.
Yeah,
Wait, who?
the
The
junkie.
little heroin addict.
That Alden Ehrenreich is chasing around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I guess. I'd probably go with like Julia Garner.
That's fair. I
Maybe
really
Josh
like
Brolin.
Abrams' performance in that movie. He
I
kind of
think
like
it's either I think it's either Abrams or the kid.
Big fan of
that's
Benedict
fair.
Wong puking all over everybody's faces all the
Yeah,
time.
Yeah.
yeah.
Shout out Amy Madigan, yeah, Oscar winner. That's so funny.
I'm
God,
glad
consumption
that
is
she won an
something
Oscar for
settlers
not
got on the
clapping
Oregon
for Elia
Trail.
Kazan.
Anyway, absolute bottom of the barrel cinematically.
Yeah.
And I've played all
Allie
of the
Larder
games.
is Claire Redfield.
No, she's not, is the thing about that. I've played all of the video games.
We still need to Zoom obsess sometime.
I've seen
Sure.
that movie.
There,
Whatever.
That's
there are
produced
thir
by Magic Johnson.
there are 31 Resident Evil video games. I've played them all. I know a couple things about this series. And I'm not even mad that this has absolutely nothing to do with Resident Evil. It is just a name that they put on it, and then they made a bunch
Yeah,
of shitty Matrix movies.
yeah.
That's
Kind of
fine.
underworldy.
Yeah, the further away you get from Resident Evil in these, actually, the happier I am. Um,
I'm fucking surprised Cole hasn't said some shit like the Paul W.S. Anderson Monster Hunter movie is like the best video game movie or some nonsense like that.
I mean, I had a good time with that.
I guess.
It was 2020. We were starved.
it was like an obvious, we're just making an action movie and slapping a label on it. The best
Yeah.
Monster Hunter movie is Tar.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true.
yeah, Resident Evil Afterlife. That's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, you've been
And
in
that's
video game slop territory this week, my
My
friend.
God.
This
that's the
Mario, that's not
that's
good.
the
Brutal.
and Afterlife is like the one that the vulgar auteurs really
Yeah,
love.
yeah,
Yeah, because they're
And it,
dumb.
yeah.
and
I
it,
don't. There's none of those movies that like. I guess my favorite's the first one. I guess, kinda.
really bad.
It's it's really bad, but it's kind of got like a early 2000s the one kind of
That was that
Troublemaker
was my
Studios.
I'm kind of
that
sentimental for that bullshit.
that
Yeah.
was my weak defense of the second one, Apocalypse,
Mm.
which is
Is that the one?
worse than the
Who's the
first
guy
one.
from Resident
But
Evil? Nemesis is in
yeah,
two. Is he in that one?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dumb.
Oded Fair from The Mummy plays Carlos
God,
from
he's
Resident
so
Evil
hot.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't help. Uh,
I hope he's back in the new one. The
Cole
new
or
Mummy,
Davey,
I mean.
you guys watch any good Peter Weir movies? Like, what's your favorite? Just what's your favorite Peter Weir movie that you watched for the
Like watch
podcast?
specifically for this.
Yeah, yeah. Like that you hadn't seen before. Yeah.
It's definitely Gallipoli, but the one that I think about the most
Yeah.
is the Mosquito Coast.
Okay.
I
That's
still
Harrison
need to
Ford,
watch
right?
that.
Yeah, that's their follow-up to Witness, where he were like, "Cool, we made a movie that everyone
Witness
loves,
is Mad Dees.
nominated for Best Picture, like
Witness is real
crowd-pleasing
good.
hit, everyone loves it." Harrison Ford, what if we made the only unprofitable movie that you've ever made, where you play a miserable colonizing asshole who's going insane in the jungle?
Yeah.
Everyone will love it.
Harrison Ford frequently cites that as like,
that's like the best sell I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. You're gonna fucking love it. Harrison
And-
Ford has said multiple times, it's like, I think that's the only movie I've ever made that didn't make money.
Yeah.
but he's also on record as like it's like one of the best things that he's ever made, or one
Yeah.
of the proudest he's ever been of something that he's made. Blah blah
I think
blah.
it might be the one that he's like, that's the best
He's
movie I've
called. I
done.
know there's some podcast or radio interview or something where I remember him saying that, right? And
Yeah.
I think what he's getting at is like I spent my career playing Indiana Jones and
Yeah.
Han Solo and blah blah blah. Cole, same thing.
Right now, Gallipoli still
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
really,
Of the new ones
really
that you got off.
devastating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like
War
about the
drama.
Civil War.
No,
Civil
World
War
War
movie?
One.
World War
Yeah.
One. Okay, right. But
Yeah.
like Australia is like a colony at that point and like participating on behalf of the
Yeah.
UK or some shit.
And how
Yeah.
they get dragged into the front lines in
Didn't he
Turkey.
make like a
And
Civil War or like an Australian independence movie or something? I thought that was what that was, but I've never seen it, so.
I don't think so.
No.
The car set A Paris was also fun. It's like the
Yeah.
origins for Mad Max,
Yeah.
which is kind of interesting. Um, you're living dangerously, not good.
There's
Mhm.
parts of it that are quite good. There
It's
are
like a
parts
Yeah.
of it that
journalism
are
thing.
apocalyptically racist.
It's the Khmer Rouge,
Yeah.
1965. Not Khmer Rouge, but Indonesia.
Yeah. It is very similar to The Killing Fields, though, another
Yeah.
movie that I
Yeah.
watched pretty recently. And
Mm.
Yeah.
like
Killing Fields
Killing
is good.
Killing Fields
Killing
is
Fields is
good.
good.
It's got
That's
its problems,
Cambodia.
but like watching Killing Fields and then immediately doing Year of Living Dangerously is like, oh, this is a downgrade.
The problem is Linda Hunt in extreme yellow face.
Yeah. And like is that performance good? Sure, I guess. It is
Yeah.
also, again, like the most racist shit in the world.
It's like if you dropped Mickey Rooney from Breakfast at Tiffany's into the
Not
middle of the 1980s.
Yeah.
not real life Edna Mode and Yellowface.
Yeah. It and
Yeah.
playing like an Indonesian man, and there's something about it that feels very like
Yeah.
what is it? What
For
is an
what?
Asian man but a woman?
Yeah.
Like it's really fucked up.
It's really fucked up. Actually, you know what? Maybe the worst thing about that movie is that now I understand why People Magazine, when they first did The Sexiest Man Alive, they decided it was Mel Gibson.
He's so goddamn hot in it.
He's so fucking hot. I get it now. I hate
Yeah.
that I get it because
Yeah.
of, well, everything that's followed, but
Yeah.
Insert
Say Levy.
fucking.
I don't know how you
Also-
wouldn't get it from the Road Warrior, though, to be honest.
I
Like, you've seen the Road Warrior, right?
mean, yeah, but this leans into like the movie star sexiness of it
You've
all.
seen
with him,
Lethal
Bare
Weapon.
chest.
The
with
hottest
him
thing a
and
man can do is have a
Sigourney.
gun in his mouth.
And a feathered fucking mullet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Insert the fucking. Why'd you do it, Mel?
Yeah, I will say my favorite Peter Weir film by far is Picnic at Hanging Rock.
Correct. He has a very interesting and diverse filmography. Master and Commander, Truman Show. I probably owe Truman Show a rewatch. That's never been my speed. And I know that it's a very well-regarded movie. Like, I'm not trying to do takes. It just was never my speed as a teenager. But God, Picnic at Hanging Rock, that's a belter. That is a movie. Like that goes from like that's wire to wire and like in the sense of it's got this like dreamy, surrealistic beauty of nature kind of horror thing. And then it's also Zodiac. Like it's also doing media zeitgeist, community and turmoil. Like just what a banger that is.
Yeah, no, fun series. I mean, the only movie of his that I really don't care for is Dead Poet Society, but
Yeah.
Considered a classic, but
You're gonna hate Green Card so fucking much.
that sounds insane.
It's not that insane. It's very low key for the most part. It's
Uh-huh.
just it is that level of like kind of like treacly sentimentality that's like it's gonna feel like you're tearing your skin off.
I mean, like the idea of being married to Gerard Depardieu sounds like a horror movie to me. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, and then also I'm like, I think I'm a little under 3 days now into the logistics.
right?
We're docked in Germany. Gonna head to Rotterdam soon. It's coming along.
Nice.
I'm just gonna cut
Traveling by
every
boat.
update you give of this movie out of the episodes and wait for you to notice.
I want a minute by minute update.
And
Like
then you
a
can watch them
live
all
journal.
once it's done. You can watch them all together and
Like a
give it your
commentary.
own- Yeah. There are a couple active projects that I'm doing, so I'm just gonna kind of breeze through some of those. I'm doing a project Cole did many years ago, which is the Every Best Picture nominee. But I just did The Verdict. Pretty good.
Okay,
Sydney,
well, yeah.
Sydney Lumet.
Great
Lumet.
Boston movie.
Shout out Paul Newman for having an Oscar.
I think it's
So I
shot
just
in Brooklyn or something like that.
I know that's the insane thing. It's not set in Boston, but like in Nails Boston.
a great movie about how you should never fuck a guy who's really into pinball.
Richard Linklater.
Really
But
good movie
but
about
yes.
how you should probably stay away from Charlotte Rampling.
Yeah, very,
That's
very
all of
fucking
them,
true.
yeah. Respectfully. She's just
I'm-
scary.
I'm going backwards in time with that, so
45 years just makes
1982
it sad.
done. Now into 1981. But I'm doing a Golden Age of Japan set that I've been slacking on, but the most recent one is also an Ozu. I watched Good Morning
Oh
for the
yeah.
first
Oh,
time
That's
after,
cute.
that's like an early talkie, right?
or it's an early color.
Early
Yeah,
color.
that was towards
It's
the end of his career.
yeah, it's based on
Really?
it's a remake of like an early talkie.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay,
Good Morning's
gotcha,
like
gotcha.
59.
Okay.
Yeah,
For
Um,
59,
some reason I thought it was
58,
much
somewhere in
earlier.
there.
Okay, okay, okay. So
yeah,
that's probably like a very contemplative and like shockingly elegiac, you know what I mean? Like it's like this movie about childhood. I guarantee it rips your fucking chest open
It's
if
a
it's
movie
it's
with
making
a
it that
fart
late.
joke.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
nice.
honestly very sweet and pleasant. If
Yeah.
you're looking for it to rip your shit up, it will.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it I just everything that he made in the late 50s and early 60s is like, he's just getting to that part of his career. He's just
yeah.
older and.
This feels like the I've made a bunch of bummers. Let's make one that's a little goofier.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
Yeah,
fair enough, fair
yeah,
enough.
and it's
absolutely.
Ozu. He's incapable of making something that isn't like very moving.
Right.
But it's nice to kind of have that to break up everything else. And the other project is I'm doing all the surviving Howard Hawks films. Um,
Nice.
and I'll highlight two recent ones. I watched Land of the Pharaohs, which rips.
It
Um,
does.
it's a ton of fun. And I watched, I believe, his earliest fully surviving film, Fig Leaves from 1926,
I want to
which is
watch
a
this.
piece of shit.
Yeah,
It is awful.
100 years old, much like
Incredibly
the
like
general.
misogynistic, fucking awful Battle of the Sexes rank ass comedy. But it opens with a scene that's set in like prehistory with like dinosaurs and like Adam and Eve and shit.
Okay.
It's
I'm sure he
10
doesn't have
wild
anything to
minutes.
say about that.
Catholics
It
hate him.
Welcome
it's
back in the blink of an eye.
I compared it a lot to Robert Zemeckis' Here, which is another misguided, insane movie about the passage of time.
That's
Uh,
absolutely brilliant.
I mean, it's better than both Fig Leaves and In the Blink of an Eye. I'll give it that. Um, but it does have a little bit of that energy of like, what are you, what are you doing? Why are we doing it like this? What's wrong with you? So yeah, if you want to feel insane for 70 minutes, Fig Leaves is available on YouTube because it's in the public domain.
Have you seen Ball of Fire yet?
No, Ball of Fire and Barbary Coast are the two that I'm doing next because they're leaving Criterion. And as Zach likes to remind us, I am not a free thinker.
Ball of Fire rocks. It's like,
I've
what if Snow White was a flapper girl on the run from the mob?
I've heard great things. A lot of these Howard Hawks movies are not great. They're like the 5 to 10 that everyone loves, and those are really awesome. And then there's a lot of
He
like
was a productive guy,
he was
like
a
they
very
all
productive
were.
guy, and he was really
Ford
into
and Weiler
planes.
and the rest of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really into
Only
planes,
only angels have
supercars.
wings, man.
Oh,
yeah,
great film. But
yeah.
also there's stuff like Air Force, which is just, hey, World War II, we're going. So,
I mean,
ups and
there's a
downs.
lot of that in Only Angels Have Wings, to be fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
But yeah, The Big Sleep, Rio Bravo.
Yeah. El Dorado was quite good as well. The
Mm.
Wayne and Mitchum
Mm,
picture, which is just there's like 5 movies that are just Rio Bravo. Um,
Bringing Up
Rio
Baby.
Bravo
Yeah.
being the best of them, but
Mhm.
like El Dorado's good, Rio Lobo is bad. It's
Yeah, I
always
remember you
fun.
being like a Hatari hater, which
Yeah, I
is
don't like
confusing.
Hatari.
Yeah, whatever.
I think when you're doing some John Wayne shit, you need a real actor in there to balance out the fact that he sucks. And just let him kind of be a presence without like that's why El Dorado works, is because you have Robert Mitchum there doing like acting, and John Wayne can just be like, I'm a movie star. Bam, bam, bam. Same reason why Man Who Shot Liberty Valance works is because Jimmy Stewart's an actor.
That's an oversimplification, but yes.
Yeah, I don't like
This
Hatari.
this is not a project of mine, but I was just looking at my diary and I wanted to shout out that I watched three Mikhail Kalatazov movies after seeing Project Hail Mary, because fuck Phil Lord. Fucking weenie.
Loser.
Those just got like progressively more propaganda until even I was like, all right, this one's kind of boring. The Nail
Many
in the
such
Boot's really good though.
cases.
The Nail in the Boot, if you've never seen that, it's like an hour long and it's from the 30s, silent movie, and it's like the battle sequences and the Soviet montage, everything. Like it's very, very engaging and thrilling. And if you've never seen Soy Cuba,
Mhm.
and if you've never seen The Cranes Are Flying, and if you've never seen Letter Never Sent, do so quickly because dude, shit's awesome. It was kind of fun to go back into him because it's been a while since I've seen
Mhm.
those big three that are all Criterions. I really want to. I would love to see the Cranes Are Flying in theaters. That's just like just
Oh yeah.
I've seen it on Blu-ray a couple times. Anyway, so that rewatch might be coming. Anybody got 5 stars?
I
5 star
do.
pitches?
Nope.
So at the Academy Museum this spring, they are showing pretty much every single film by Akira Kurosawa on 35 millimeter. So that series kicked off with Seven Samurai, which that movie
Pretty
fucking
good.
rips. It,
Mad
it, it,
Geese.
it, it, I wouldn't say it's the best movie ever made. It might be the single best piece of entertainment ever made.
Agreed. It's the best like spectacle, blockbuster, war movie, battle movie, whatever that thing is. Like this is the apex.
The action is absolutely unbeatable. Like when it gets to the part where, they're crossing off the bandits one by one on the dots, letting in two at a time.
That phrase right there, one by one, that is the entire makeup of the movie.
Yeah.
Everything is brick by brick, grain by grain, battle by battle, opponent by opponent, and I mean it is literally like watching a house get built
Mhm.
piece by piece. It's fucking incredible. And
And,
as perfect as the first half is, right? You get all the way through it and you're like,
mhm.
wow, perfect. And you get to the second half and you're like, all right, time to go downhill. Whoa. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the best movie. I don't know. He's got so many classics. I mean, like if you tell me that High and Low is your favorite, I'm not gonna fucking argue with you about High and Low being your favorite. It's a perfect movie. It's like 100 out of 100 type of movie. But Seven Samurai just sometimes the culture and history get it 100% right. That is one of those cases.
Yeah, completely just a barn burner of a film. And then the next night, they showed Rashomon on 35 millimeter, which, whew, what a
Less of the
picture.
crowd pleaser. I feel like Rashomon should be on the same pillar, but I feel like ultimately people watch it and they're like, it's a little more academic, it's a little more slower moving, it's a little this, it's a little that. And so I feel like that movie's reputation is not as strong as it once was or as it should be. Maybe I'm
I,
crazy.
I mean, because like its influence is still felt to this day. Like we're
Right.
still doing Rashomon
I
over and
think
Not how
that's
I
over.
remember it.
maybe I think that's maybe why the rep is the way that it is because other people have their versions of
Mhm.
that narrative style. Although I've never seen a movie do it better. I don't think any movie
Oh
has ever
yeah,
done it
no,
better.
So
no.
you've
This
never
was
seen Hoodwinked?
They don't. The movie's funny actually. It
I
looks
do
like
like Hoodwinked.
shit,
oh,
but it's quite a funny movie.
It is good.
Um, yeah,
it does
people.
look like
I think people misunderstand and ha ha ha. People misunderstand what Rashomon is about. Like even
Yeah.
that Simpsons joke that Morgan is talking about. Like I
mhm.
saw that get posted. I was like, this is a imprecise joke for the Simpsons writers. Like Rashomon is not how anybody remembers things. It's about how people present themselves. It's
Yeah.
about the irreconcilability of two accounts of a situation, which is not I don't know. The fucking Last Duel has had me in this state for the last 6 years because I watched that movie and I was like, wait, that's not how Rashomon works. That's not, what are you talking, what are you, Ridley, what are you doing?
Man, that movie was so boring.
It's really boring, yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah.
I like The Last Duel.
It's
You're a
got
dork.
good chunky fight scenes in it.
Jodie Comer's great in it.
She's
Adam
very good in.
Driver's great in it.
Yeah.
Adam Driver's like the only one I'm going to bat for in that movie because he's playing like a doofus.
I like all the performances except for
No,
Matt Damon's. I
Matt
think Matt
Damon's
Damon's
Yeah, I
fucking
was about to
horrible.
say Ben Affleck in the Bleach Blonde is
yeah,
fun.
yeah, that's a lot of fun. He's in a different movie, but he's enjoying it. I think
He's
Yeah.
in
the
a different
thing
movie that he wrote.
that's fair. The thing with Last Duel is that I think them trying to be like, oh, it's like Rashomon is a wild misread of even what the Last Duel is doing, and it put
Right,
everyone in a weird space for
right.
what
Yeah,
that movie
Where you
actually is.
just watch the same thing happen 3 times.
Yeah.
yeah.
Rashomon literally left turns you like you if you haven't seen it recently, you probably may forget that like the 4 segments of Rashomon are not just like mildly conflicting with each other, they are radically conflicting with each other.
Yeah.
It's
It's
almost
not
like
just
that's
like,
the
oh,
plot of
like
the movie.
it's not like a tiny little detail here and there is off because I told it to you wrong. It's like I am Davey's telling you about one thing, I'm telling you about a completely fucking different thing, but
Yeah.
it's anyway. I
Yeah.
just also think the formal way that that movie is, like it slithers around in the forest with like the sun peeking through. The contrast between the Rashomon gate and like the pouring rain, and then like literally one of the first times anyone ever just pointed a camera up at the sun. And the like jarring difference between the two. It's just a spectacular movie.
And the Glen with the million different dots of light over the forest floor. And
It,
everyone is so sweaty.
I'm in my bag for Throne of Blood. I think
Seeing that
everybody
tonight.
everybody here is in their
Nice.
bag for Ron. To me,
Yeah.
I think
Seeing that
Rashomon's
as
probably
well.
his greatest adaptation. Not saying it's the best movie that he's made that is adapted material. I'm saying it is the movie that takes the material it is adapting and does the craziest shit with it. Because Rashomon's a adaptation of two stories. The main story that it's adapting is not Rashomon, it's In the Grove. And then
Mhm.
Rashomon gives it
Uh,
its structure at Rashomon Gate. And
yeah,
like the
it's
way
a
that it
two-in-one combo.
like it's very Drive My Car because it's mutating and blending and honestly like the way the ending of Rashomon is how optimistic it is, it's like reworking the kind of you know that's a very Cole, we always talk about those period pieces, like it's a very like
Hmm.
unforgiving period piece that is
Oh
ultimately
yeah.
extremely optimistic, which is a interesting. I mean, Marketa Lazarova is like that. It's one of the reasons I love that movie
Hmm.
so much.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, no,
brutal.
this is a film that's set in a time where you could have someone show up at court and say that they're speaking for a dead person for a medium. And like
Literally
people just
bodies are
accept it.
stacked on top of the Rashomon gate. Like people go hide dead bodies up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just,
It's an unforgiving film,
yeah.
but that's part of what makes it so brilliant.
It's also
But
kind
yeah.
of like the Toshiro Mifune like hits the jets moment. Because if you've seen those 40s collaborations, he's clearly a movie star, but
Hmm.
this is
Mhm.
where you're like, "Oh my God, you
Yeah.
will just take over a movie."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when he shows up in Seven Samurai, it's like Han Solo on steroids.
Yeah, for real.
But
Magical
yeah, no,
stuff.
so they're
Throne of Blood tonight.
playing Front of Blood tonight, seeing Rand next month.
Okay,
Probably gonna
nice.
do a couple more, but the only one they're not playing is the Richard Gere movie. I don't know why.
August in the Water or whatever.
Yeah, Gearheads, get out there, demand the Academy Museum play it.
I always
'Cause
want to call that movie
Or Rhapsody in
Rhapsody in
August.
Blue. August in the Water
August in the
is
Water is a Japanese movie.
yeah, it's the one that
Well,
you
Yeah,
sent me. That movie
they're both
rules.
Japanese movies. Yeah.
Rhapsody in August.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're
Rhapsody in
playing
August.
basically his entire filmography, that one aside. Over 30 prints, 10 of which were flown exclusively from Japan just for one screening.
That's
So
so
if you
fucking
can
cool.
get out, it is a truly monumental piece of programming that I am really happy to support.
I always want to call Rhapsody in August, August and everything after the Counting Crows album. Mr. Jones and me.
Is this the part where I'm allowed to
Yeah,
talk about?
5-star movies. Yes.
All right, perfect. Thank you. I'll be quick. I rewatched the saddest movie ever made this week. A movie that I saw when I was 9 years old, and it broke my brain forever. Um,
It did. I can confirm that it did. I wasn't there when you were
yeah,
9, but I can confirm that the brain is broken to this day in a way that totally jives with that explanation.
I rewatched AI Artificial Intelligence for the first time in 18 years in the
Fucking Chat
theater.
GPT.
Ugh,
Years. Wow.
because they're doing a Spielberg series at my local art house theater. I saw it with my girlfriend and two of my friends, and after the movie was over, they all basically kind of understood my general vibe a lot more. Um, if you've never seen it, it's Spielberg's best film. It is the story of a robot boy
No.
named David who is built
No.
to love, and a couple buys him, turns him on, activates him as a replacement for their son who is dying in a coma, and
Lizzie
then
McGuire's younger brother.
it's so fucked up. And then the son
Yeah,
makes a miraculous recovery, wakes up,
that's
comes
insane.
home, and the the father says, "Hey, we don't need this robot boy anymore." And he's also kind of creepy, so we should get rid of him. And the mother is unable to execute this robot child, and so she leaves him in the woods and flees. And he becomes on a singular, dedicated mission to reunite with his mother, who he is programmed to love, and basically reenact the story of Pinocchio, find the blue fairy, become a real boy, so that way his mommy will love him. The damage that this picture has done to my brain and my psyche from seeing it at a formative age cannot be overstated, to the point where every defense that I've mounted over something like Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio is entirely because this story evokes something so deep within me that like I can't not find it like profound. Um yeah, there's I was worried I wouldn't love it as much. I love it even more. I think it basically is a movie with no bum notes whatsoever. There are things that are very strange in it. There are performances that are taking big swings. Haley Joel Osment, for as kind of wonderful as this work is making choices, and I get why some people don't like it.
Man,
Um,
the thing with Haley Joel Osment in this movie, right? Whatever you want to say about the entirety of his performance, or there is a transition, right? When she
mhm.
programs him, because he shows up and
Yeah,
he's just like
Hmm.
this nice little automaton boy, and he's kind of
yeah,
weird and uncanny. And then she activates him in like the love your mom protocol,
Yeah.
and the way that he shifts
Uh-huh.
is devastating. You're like, it's
Yeah.
not even like, I guess maybe the very first time you've ever seen it, you might go, wow, that's kind of movie magic, but it's
yeah,
like movie magic in the evil way.
yeah.
Hmm.
It's a very evil movie. It famously was being workshopped
William
by Stanley Kubrick
Hurt
for a while, but oh
William
yeah,
Yeah.
Hurt comes out with like a fucking nail gun and just like ka-dunk, ka-dunk, ka-dunk a few times there at you at the end. I do want to peek into the alternate reality where Stanley Kubrick lived and made this movie. I've
Hmm.
always wanted to see the Kubrick version of it. I'm not saying that it would be better. In fact,
I
I think most of the bulk of AI, which is to say everything that happens after he's ditched in the woods, really the ditched in the woods scene all the way to the end, all of that feels like I can't fathom somebody doing it better than Spielberg. I
yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
Everything before that, I would love to see the Kubrick take on, and then also how he would develop the rest of it. Because I do think the part where it's like the sort of grieving but ultimately thoughtless parents who buy themselves a robot to appease their own sadness and then discard him, to me, those make 100 times more sense as Kubrick characters than as Spielberg characters. Trying to
Mhm.
find like the inner humanity of those people is a noble ambition, but I am reasonably certain that it should be more caustic and more ironic than Spielberg chooses to pitch it. Like
I
maybe the dad is the most that character in the current iteration of AI, but I've always felt like the domestic part of that movie should be a little colder and rougher around the edges than it is.
that's
And
it's
Spielberg
fair.
Spielberg kind of gets there, but like that's not his comfort zone.
Yeah, he doesn't hate them. Um,
Hmm.
and I definitely see the point that you're making. I I am so hesitant to fuck with the alchemy of this
Of
movie
course.
because
That's why we're
when
peeking to the alternate universe.
yeah,
We're not replacing. We're just taking a little trip.
the ending is impossible to like really like I don't know how
There's no Kubrick movie that's like that.
there's no Kubrick movies like that. There's no Spielberg movie that's like it. It's
I mean, what is
Yeah.
Barry Lyndon? No, there are Spielberg movies that are like it, I think. I mean,
not by
I
the end.
uh a lot of the Spielberg movies that are like it are not like big blockbusters. I mean, they are big blockbusters because they're Spielberg's, but it's more like Munich, Schindler's List. And Schindler's List has this note of optimism and hope at the end. I would say Close Encounters of the Third Kind, right? That's like my sad boy Spielberg sci-fi pick.
Yeah.
All of those have this kind, the end of Close Encounters is like, wait, what? What
The
do
end of
you
Close
mean?
Encounters, the only one that really strikes true for me as a comp is Munich, because both
Yeah,
of those end on this note of
everything's fucked.
like
It's
not
all
only is
bad.
everything fucked, but like there is like a rot at the center of our species that
Hmm.
comes from a good place that we will never be able to like reckon with truly. Um,
Yeah.
and both those movies make me feel really bad about everything. Um, Close Encounters, even then, I still feel is more optimistic than something like AI by like a
But
lot.
it's, yeah,
What
I
if Richard
agree.
Dreyfuss shows up in Disclosure Day?
Hooting and hollering in the theater. It's like when Bob Odenkirk shows up in Little Women. Everyone's like,
I
"Yeah!"
I think
This
like the
is
Close
my
Encounters thing
disclosure day.
is is like for that character, he's experiencing it one way. For other characters, they're experiencing it in another way. And that irreconcilability is at the core of an AI, is at the
Yeah.
core of a Munich, is at the core of even a Schindler's List. Like there's parts of Schindler's List where Oscar Schindler has to like bargain with and work with Amon Goth to be able to like achieve things and do things. There's always this moral relativity in any Spielberg movie where like the perspectives of multiple people can't be reconciled, but they can either choose like Lincoln to like collaborate and work together towards a common end, or it all falls the fuck apart like in Munich. It does not
Yeah.
often all fall the fuck apart in a Spielberg movie, is kind
Yeah.
of the point though.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that makes AI kind of special for me is that like everything falls apart, but also if you are like single-minded and driven past the limits of humanity, you can still technically kind of get what you want, even though as the audience you're like, oh God, this is awful. This what's happening. I hate this. I hate
Well,
this.
it's like he finally finds somebody that's compassionate towards him too,
Yeah.
that like wants to
Mhm.
give him a moment of relief and peace that no one else on earth can give him.
Yeah. The he gets what he's looking for from the futuristic
And there is
villain.
something in there about like, it's what you're programmed for. You're
Yeah.
gonna chase it your entire life because it's something inside of you that you did not put there.
Yeah. And there is a
There's something
resentment
kind of
for it being
religious to
put
me
there.
about that. There's something kind of like Spielberg is Jewish, obviously, but he does not make any movies like he's such a four quadrant guy that
Yeah.
we never fuck. Even when we get into religion, we're not getting into religion. But this one feels a lot like there's this, yeah, there's something kind of biblical happening
Yeah.
here.
No, it's very much a movie about God made you for selfish reasons, and you will never get justice for that, and I'm sorry. Because William Hurt is
You'll
such a
never be
bastard.
reconciled through your own
Mhm.
efforts or worldly pursuits.
Yeah. You are here to soothe a wound that will never be healed, and I'm
If only
sorry
there
that
was
that will
like a
bother you.
guy. There was like a guy that anyway. No, anyway, we're moving on.
But yeah,
That's tomorrow's business.
it's great. I love everything about it. It is my favorite Spielberg movie. It jumped like 200 spots on my like 250 list because I had it at like
How is
two
it that low?
because I had it at a 9 out of 10.
Davey, what? Okay, wait. You don't have any other Spielberg's five-starred?
No, I had like 5 of them 5-starred. They were all above AI, and now AI is above all of them.
Okay, that was just
Okay.
wrong. You just had that
I,
wrong.
I was about to go grab the shark from the
I really
Academy
thought
Museum
if we
and
were about to
slap you
say
with
like
it.
every other Spielberg is a 4.5 and this is the only five, we're gonna have to talk about that.
No,
Okay,
because I hadn't
you
seen
had
it since I
AI
was a
in like
child.
seventh or something? That's
I had AI
goofy.
as like my seventh Spielberg.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
so what was ahead of it?
Schindler's List,
Okay.
Jaws,
Uh-huh.
Raiders.
Raiders,
Uh-huh.
Temple,
Temple,
um,
yeah.
Temple fucking rocks.
I
I mean, it's
fucking
Um,
great, but like what?
I love people who love Temple of Doom. That's all.
it's uh and Fablemans and Jurassic. Yeah,
I
those are
can't
the
believe
other
that you ever
bunch.
had Jurassic Park over AI. That just doesn't feel like you.
It
Yeah.
it it doesn't feel like me. It is truly a I got in my head about it over the years.
Yeah.
Because I watched it when I was 9. I was like, this is like the best movie ever. And it was still 2007, and people were like, AI, that's the shitty one. Fuck you. And so
Dumbasses.
you get self-conscious about it because you're a child and you want the grown-ups to think that you're smart, because then they'll love you. You can see why the movie had an impact on me.
Yeah, anybody putting
It
that below like Minority Report is needs to go to jail.
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Go to jail.
It it really does feel cruel that they're playing Pinocchio at the Vista next weekend and you can't get
Just
there.
make it
Yeah.
happen, dude. Just fucking, what are you talking about?
Has
Get
shit to
there.
do.
It's like a 70-minute movie.
I know. I
Move the
know.
shit around. Reschedule it. Do it later. Do it earlier. I don't know. Figure it out.
Just want to point out this is a moment that I've been hoist by my own petard because I'm constantly after Davey about shit like you haven't seen or played this amazing 5-star thing, but you have seen this miscellaneous piece of utter dog shit. And now I've seen all 6 Resident Evil movies and I live action Resident Evil movies and I haven't seen AI.
Yeah.
I'm fucked.
It's
Yeah, it's great.
It's good.
Rewatched it last year on 35. Incredible experience.
Guaranteed.
I,
Dude, Janusz Kaminski, I mean, always cooking, but
Uh-huh.
he is cooking
Cooking.
here.
God, the fucking moonlight in this movie is insane.
The fucking
His use of
moon.
his use of reflection shots, none more devastating than the rearview mirror as mom's pulling away in the woods. Just
Oh
like, all right, I'm gonna
yeah.
fucking kill myself. We are an hour into this movie, maybe less, and I'm just gonna end it all right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so
I'm
good.
gonna
Morgan, you got to see it. Let me know what you
I'm
think.
I'm gonna probably do all of the ones I have left before D-Day, which are Sugarland Express, 1941. I might skip those.
You'll like no
Uh,
no no
Sugarland is good.
don't skip Sugarland. You'll like it.
Yeah.
okay. Color Purple, Empire of the Sun, Schindler's List. We'll see how I feel about that one. Uh,
That's his
AI,
best movie.
The Terminal,
Oh,
War
this is the
Horse,
best.
Ugh, Warhorse sucks.
Bridge of Spies, BFG, The Post, and West Side Story.
I feel like you're gonna really fuck with Empire of the Sun. That's the one that feels
Good,
like a Morgan movie.
good movie.
Nobody's ever said that to me, but I'm compelled
Best
by that.
Christian Bale performance, maybe.
We don't
I
have
mean,
time to get into that.
he's
We
not
have to talk
particularly
about the
good.
general at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true.
Any other 5 stars out there? I thought Cole was gonna have one, but you must have talked about it last week, last episode,
Yeah,
the one that I also watched and liked, just not as much.
you're
I
hopeless.
Ain't
yeah
that
yeah yeah yeah
ain't that one by Jack Titty?
yeah. I
Yeah.
watched 2 of his because I also watched Monsieur Hulot's Holiday, which is earlier, black and white, shorter, and I
Mhm.
liked that more. I wasn't expecting to. I just kind of did it as a precursor because it was a short movie, and
It's
I liked it.
delightful.
It's delightful. It is. It really is. And so is Playtime. So is
Yeah.
Playtime. Nothing about my rating should indicate that I think that it's like less than. I just, there's like 2 hours of okay. So you type LOL, and very rarely are you ever actually laughing out loud. It's more of like kind of like
Yeah.
that. Solidly that for the entire runtime of Playtime, which for you that might get a little farther north, or for you you might laugh harder. But I was like, oh, this is all very amusing. Smile,
I definitely laugh harder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't really hit me like that. But I enjoyed it. I think all of the Tatis that I've seen, like they have these funny moments, and there's like I'm more appreciative of their sophistication and like coordination. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, like orchestration. Like
Yeah.
just how tightly put together everything is. And in Playtime, the scale is so huge that you're like, all of this being timed with each other is like very, 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 very impressive. I also definitely think if you could ever see this one on 70 millimeter or just generally in a theater, you're
Hmm.
probably doing yourself a good favor. Like
Yeah.
especially if you can really get it in 70 and like see top to bottom, there's so much like things are happening on this layer and in this layer and in this layer and in this layer in a way where like on your television or laptop or phone screen or something, you actually probably can see the Where's Waldo of it a little better. But to be able to get like lost in the details and pulled around, I
Hmm.
imagine would be, a pretty enhancing type of experience.
Yeah, get into every single joke in detail, whether it's at
Mhm.
the department store or it's at the restaurant.
Just silly little, physical things like how people are sliding around. It's a subtle movie. It almost never calls huge attention to the bits. It just
Hmm.
it like it's very like gentle and it just like lets them all like roll off, which maybe something like I'm looking for a little bit more of like the okay, you clap now. This is the joke now. Here's the punchline now. Whereas for him it's like the punchlines are kind of like constantly cascading at you in a continuous way. Uh,
Hmm.
but anyway, that felt like an interesting precursor to the Keaton conversation, right? Because Hati, not silent movies, but there's
But
very, very minimal
kinda.
dialogue in them. They kind of are.
I mean, playtime is basically dialogue free.
Yeah.
But you do have a soundscape. Like you do still have sound
Hmm.
mixing, not just a score, but sound mixing of like,
Yeah.
when he sits on the cushions, it's like there's like an
Hmm.
air depressing sound and stuff like that. So not silent, but
Yeah.
not
Synchronized
no
sound.
dialogue. Yeah. but no dialogue.
Yeah.
And it's I guess why it's an interesting precursor for me is comedy in general. I'm speaking about myself specifically, and like, we've all talked about this plenty with whatever XYZ movie. I feel like comedy's fickle for everybody. Whether it's specifically fickle for me or more extreme there, great. I feel like like if you're watching a comedy movie, like a true blue, this is a comedy, not like a thriller Fargo that's got jokes in it. That's like a very funny, dark comedy movie. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like a comedy. It's very, to me, like it's a hard road because now if your movie's 80 minutes long, you got to be funny for 80 minutes. And that's
Yeah.
not an easy thing to do. And not everybody's sense of humor is going to be the same. And so it's almost like a roller coaster. It's like, yeah, I mean, good layout. It's got these dead spots on it, though. Like these places where I feel like we're just kind of doing a monorail thing. With Buster Keaton, uniquely, I guess maybe what I should say is for me, the silent comedy, the physical comedy, the pratfall comedy, the clown comedy, maybe as fickle as it gets, because at least for me, like I like a lot of the things that I find funny are like weird vocal stems. It's like people doing a funny voice. It's like people saying a funny line, getting a really good line reading, and then you quote that line reading to yourself over and over. With the silent comedies, I think film enthusiasts really like them because they're so visual. All the gags are in the cinematography and in the blocking. With Keaton, that's kind of like I think he's my favorite silent comedy guy because there's so much action in it. There's so
Yeah.
much stunt work in it that complements the comedy. And it kind of makes sense. I sort of grew up watching, I think maybe a lot of people grew up watching like Jackie Chan, Mission Impossible, these things that
Mhm.
very clearly still have the DNA of like, I'm in a fucking situation here. And that's also Safety Last, Harold Lloyd, great movie. Um, but I think that's where, for me, over Chaplin or over Ati, um, there is just like this reckless, manic joy to everything I've ever seen Keaton make, but particularly his major movies, particularly The General.
There's an unpretentiousness to it. Like
Hmm.
uh, God loved Charlie Chaplin, but the man was an egomaniac who was obsessed with the idea that he was considered a real artiste. Like, but for to prep for this, I read or did the audiobook for all but like the last 30 minutes of Dana Stevens's biography of Keaton, Cameraman, and it makes a lot of noise of Keaton being like, "Don't call me an artist. Don't make this pretentious. I'm a vaudeville guy. I want to make people laugh. I
Right.
want to be funny." We don't like he went to one day of school in his whole life. He's like, we don't need to do any of this fucking nonsense. I fall, it's funny, you laugh, I get up, you cheer. This is how it works. Like it's very elemental.
Hmm. And I think, I mean, to me, I just think it works. I also think there's something in his air and in his demeanor. If we take the Tramp and Hulo, these are very gentle characters.
Yeah.
These are guys that you like. They have a simple way of living and it's admirable. And we're usually contrasting that with like, the big factory or the cityscape of the traffic or this trade show. Whereas the Keaton character, which I don't know that he ever has like a consistent in this movie, he's like Johnny Gray or something like that, in the general. But like
Hmm.
there is just like this sourpuss, like I cannot believe this is happening kind of expression that he's always got that I think punctuates everything. It doesn't feel as smooth and as orchestrated as it ultimately is because it feels like he's always at odds with the things happening around him. Like he's always working against it, trying to fix some problem, trying to survive some mishap. The cannon was pointed up, now it's pointed directly at him, etc. So The General is a 100-year-old silent movie. Is it the first silent movie that I ever saw? It might be. I watched it in college. I can't remember. I know I saw, like Louis Buñuel's Un Chien Andalou was an early silent movie that I had seen. What was
Mhm.
the first silent movie you ever saw? Anybody? Anybody
Gold
got anything?
Rush.
Gold Rush?
I don't know. It might have been Metropolis.
That's a fucking good way to start.
Yeah, that was the cinematography class.
I
So
think mine might have been Battleship Potemkin.
That's a good way to start. I saw that early for sure.
Yeah,
Battleship. But all of these were like academic, right? If you're watching Battleship, if you're watching, whatever, like you're probably seeing that in a college or maybe high
right.
school class. Because, somebody's teaching you about Soviet montage when they're
I
showing
was
you
at
films.
home because I was a pretentious asshole
I was
in
about to say, or you're a
high
pretentious
school.
loser who's like, I own the Roger Ebert Great Movies books, and we're just gonna see
Yeah.
the ones that are free on YouTube.
So you guys both not in class. You just
Yeah,
sought these out.
At
Okay.
home, yeah.
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 The only,
Somebody
yeah, I've only seen like two silent films in college, and they were The Crowd and Within Our Gates.
Oh, I
Never any
watched a
comedies.
lot of
Oh, the
silent movies in
crowd. What
college.
a picture.
Great film, but yeah, no, there were very little
Oh,
silent
fuck.
films at Southern Illinois University Film Program.
I saw a silent movie earlier than The General for sure.
Go Salukis.
It was in high school. It was The Birth of a Nation.
Ah, fuck.
Mm.
That
Yeah.
sucks.
That is
Stinky.
probably the first silent movie I ever saw. Ugh.
That
Was
movie's
that like
so.
a U.S. history class?
I'm sure that it was. Maybe it might have been English, like a social studies. I don't know.
That motherfucker's long too. I've still never seen it in
It's
full.
also
Yeah.
so fucking boring.
It was like
Yeah,
10th grade. Yeah, it was like
seems like
sophomore
a piece
year.
of shit.
I'm really trying to remember now, and I guess it's not probably that interesting to sit here and try to recollect, but The General was maybe the first silent movie that I saw and watched and was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
That's one of the best movies I've ever
Mm.
seen. Right? Up to that point, my perception of silent movies might be like, well, these are kind of historically interesting or whatever, but movies have sound now. We got over that phase.
yeah,
This was the first one that I had ever seen where I was like, oh damn. Right? And then later on, your Nosferatu, your Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, the Expressionist, all this stuff. But this was like, I mean, to me, and I guess this is my modern perspective now conflated with my 18, 19-year-old perspective. The General is like funnier than modern comedies, and it is better than modern action movies. And that was immediately detectable to me as a teenager watching a silent movie. Like,
yeah,
oh, we actually have
Mm,
not improved beyond this point.
yeah,
We didn't, it was
mhm.
it was it was a paradigm shift going from, oh, the technology is so much better that we can make a Blade Runner now, right? And we didn't used to be able to make a Blade Runner before the 80s because we didn't have the effects.
yeah,
This was a paradigm shift of like, oh, 100 years, literally now, 100 years ago, we were literally making apex level cinematic movies. Shouts
yeah,
to Passion of Joan of Arc, which
yeah.
I guess
Mhm.
we'll do a 100-year anniversary on in 2 years, and I will not stop talking for 4 hours, even though the movie's like 80 minutes long.
Hopefully, you'll have seen it by then.
It's the best.
It's the best shit in the world because
It's the best.
you also do that thing where you're like, I'm glad we kept making movies, obviously, because like they're important. That's why we're all here. But you watch a movie like that and you're like, did we just like hit it and have just been going downhill ever since? Like,
We
what's
literally
the
like
point?
every image, that's yeah, we're not getting into Joan, but like every frame of that movie
I,
adds value and
It's like
adds emotion. Every
I
frame, every
it's like when
image.
you boot up Chrono Trigger. You're like,
I
Yeah.
do think that the 1920s was perhaps the single most creatively fertile period of cinema,
I
period.
the only argument I would have against you, Cole, would be if it was the 1910s. And we know that the 1910s obviously had so much more stiff,
Yeah,
ineffectual. The 20s was when they started creatively figuring it out at the studio level and the production goes up. But at least
Hmm.
in the argument for the 1910s would be we are really just inventing in the black box
yeah,
here. We are just
Yeah.
doing Man Ray movies about abstract, experimental shapes, forms, movement, whatever. Because by the time you get to the talkies in the 30s and especially in the 40s, things get rigid.
yeah,
Things suddenly become much more commodified and specific. And then you've got different movements, your Italian
Hmm.
neorealism, French New Wave, Czech New Wave, whoever New Wave, New Hollywood, that break open conventions, but it is never like it is in the 20s ever again. Like just
Yeah.
the freedom of what a camera, unbound by sound equipment, can let you do is, and they were so cheap that you could just
yeah,
make things.
Yeah. I mean, there were some directors who knew what they were doing with sound really quick. I mean, like Ruben
Right,
Mamoulian's one of them.
for sure. But even, Passion of Joan of Arc, right? He goes right from making that to making Vampire, which is a
Hmm.
Mhm.
talkie early, and it's like, no, it's not. That's a silent movie with some sounds in it. Same
Yeah.
thing with M after Metropolis by
Hmm.
Fritz Lang. It's like, yeah, that's a talkie. People talk in it, but eh, you know,
Yeah.
it's still pretty much a silent movie for like 90% of it. So you didn't have too many early adopters that were all that skilled, and it just you almost get back more to that so before the revolution, before Sergei, we've talked so much about Soviets, before that, Sergei Eisenstein, before Giga Virtov, like blew the scene up, right? They were these
Hmm.
stage-bound dramas, cameras not really even moving. And I feel like early talkies, you get right back into that because they're almost relearning it a second time.
Yeah. It's the limitations of the new technology that they were working
Mhm.
with.
It's that
Yeah.
awkward thing where we went from the Game Boy Advance being perfect to the Nintendo DS being kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
The General is a movie about the Confederacy.
And how fucking stupid they are.
It stars Buster Keaton,
They sto
obviously.
I'm sorry, they stole a train from these motherfuckers right in front of their faces. They like turned around and somebody stole a train from them.
And if it had not been for this one goober, they just would have gotten away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
This
story
goober
about
who's still an idiot, he's just a lucky idiot.
The goober
Hmm.
whose only expression ever is like, she's like, we welcome the birth of your first child. And Buster Keaton's like, he's like, your mother has passed away in a terrible automobile accident.
Now,
And
I
Buster
I
Keaton's
will
like,
say I will say that in the original story that this is based off of, Johnny Gray was a Union soldier. Keaton did switch affiliations in the story because he thought that audiences would be more empathetic towards the Confederacy, which I guess speaks to just how fucking racist white people were in the
everybody
1920s,
likes the
especially
underdog.
especially in a post Birth of a Nation era.
Yeah.
Um, but I do think that this movie does show that the Confederacy was a bunch of fucking idiots.
Yeah.
it to me. This is not the last time that so we all watched this movie together. The
Yeah.
previous time that I watched this, I was just there was like a Kino Buster Keaton DVD set, right? And I was
Yeah.
just plowing through those motherfuckers. And I rewatched it. And this is a topic of debate in the 21st century and probably in the 20th century as well, obviously.
Oh, for sure.
I gotta be honest, when I watched this movie the first time in college, I don't think I gave a single shit that he was a Confederate or a Union because there is no point where that matters. There's no point where it is like in the birth of a nation, it is an ideological position that the movie is
Yes.
taking. It
Mm.
is not simply like the glory of war. It is like we are fucking protecting our women's, type of shit.
Yeah.
This movie has none of that. It is a conflict entirely set on a railroad where a train kind of plugs back and forth, right? And I was thinking to myself while I
Like
was watching it last time,
you could set this within like as a conflict between 1860s railroad magnates
or
Yeah.
like
instead
the
of the Union
United
or
States and
Confederacy.
Canada
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
some shit
Hmm.
like that, right? Like a completely fictional, like it's the Aroostook War. That's a not a fictional, but anyway, uh, I feel like now there would be no diminishment if he was a Union soldier. However, the feeling of the movie would shift
Yeah.
from what it is to being more like, oh, here comes the good guy. He's gonna beat the bad guys. Hooray. Whereas as it is now, he like the ultimate setup of the story is the war breaks out, whatever state they're in secedes,
Yeah.
all the men are like, "We're gonna go join the army," and then his girl is like, "You're gonna go join the army, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course, babe, because I love you, because you're the best." He goes and joins the army, or attempts to, because he is unsuccessful, to impress a girl, right?
Yeah.
There is
Hmm.
no ideological thing. So it all comes across to me much more like this. I don't want to say farce because that's not what a farce is, but like this satire or like send up of like a guy who wants to be in the military so that he can wear the uniform and then
Yeah.
ultimately gets himself into this fiasco that the movie is that plays so differently because he is Confederate. There is
Hmm.
no rooting for him. There is no rooting for his side. There is no rooting for any side. You're just
Yeah.
Hmm.
watching these fucking madcap antics. And then from a symbolic point of view, because there is so much like the Union are gonna infiltrate or we're gonna infiltrate, like people are wearing different uniforms or mixing their uniforms up. He spends half this movie in like a half and half uniform of like a
Yeah.
Union coat and Confederate pants. And then
Hmm.
the structure of the movie is a train moving back and forth on a train track. Like it's literally there's no ideological dispute. We are circling inside of a toilet.
Yeah.
Like
It
we
is
are
Miss
just la,
Molly
la, la,
forever.
la, la.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said this when we watched the movie, and I still don't totally have like a take on it, but it is one of the beauties of it being in black and white that like the blue and the gray uniforms are both just gray to us. Like there's a
Right.
little bit of a tint difference, but it is very much like going to war is stupid and
Hmm.
everyone is an idiot. And we can also kind of enjoy that, yeah,
Even
they're gonna lose. This is
Man,
pointless because they're going to lose no
Yeah.
matter what.
It'd
colorblind,
be different if they had
colorblind,
won, but you know.
colorblind motherfuckers must have had a terrible time in the Civil War. At least the lobster backs were, decked out in red.
Yeah.
I feel like
Those
What?
British soldiers?
Yeah,
I've never heard that before.
yeah. That's
That's
AP
fucking
US
awesome.
history, baby.
I, I'm not that kind of smart.
I could go for a lobster roll right now.
I
I
think
wouldn't
that
say
in
no.
the general, there's like the whole reason he is unable to enlist is not because he's short, as you might expect, but it's because he is a railroad conductor. And
Yeah.
the army is like, you will serve the cause better as a railroad conductor. You cannot join. And then ultimately, like the pressure on this character mounts as like, oh, I guess he's not joining us because he's an idiot. Like,
Yeah.
so immediately there is this sense of like honor that comes from like putting yourself on the battlefield that's like it's not even practical to the war effort. Like
Yeah.
these
Hmm.
they're not smart, like if you have a brain, you should be going against the grain of like every single character's perspective in this movie. And then you just get to the point where it's like it just is rail-bound chaos for an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's spectacular.
Yeah, so the big takeaway for me was like because I watched this for the first time when we zoomed. Ugh. Sorry, my body was rebelling. Much like the South. Um,
It fired on Fort Sumter.
and Fort Sumter is giving me heartburn.
Doing a juice
Um,
cleanse and calling it a Sherman's March through my colon.
Oh God.
that goes fucking hard, actually. Um,
Oh God.
we'll see if any of that makes it in the final video. Um, so the first time I ever watched this movie was on the Zoom call with everybody here, which in some ways was suboptimal, and I certainly would like to watch it again. But I watched the movie. Um, but my big takeaway from it was I think the greatest action set piece of all time is the truck chase in Raiders of the Lost Ark. It has never been bested before, and it certainly has not been bested since. Um, and this is like, what if that was the movie? And like that's not
Hmm.
an uncommon idea. Like the Road Warrior is kind of that, and
Yeah.
certainly Fury Road is kind of that. But
Hmm.
Fury,
I
both
would
of
throw
those
out
movies,
Stagecoach.
yeah.
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 Um, but there's a way to like find that sort of exhausting in a way that I even get with Fury Road in a good way. Where I'm just like, I gotta take a nap after that movie. That I didn't get from this, and I certainly prefer Fury Road as a whole movement, especially
Mhm.
when you consider Furiosa
You're
in
right, the
tandem
character and
in tandem with
theming
it.
and stuff. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, but the general is just like, okay, here's some setup. He's a goober. Get him on the train. Let's fucking go. Um, and it's just like just the antics the goofs and gaffs, the pratfalls, the I cannot believe this man is alive.
Yeah.
Like, and that's such
It
a
it
key
takes
element
time to
of it.
breathe, which maybe
Yeah.
is the key of being on the railroad is like you're in constant motion, but you're never like doing 90. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
still
Hmm.
like we have to get to, oh, I gotta get there, I gotta get here, I gotta, so there's like little bits to breathe. I think that's actually pretty well served, right? It's not just like
Yeah.
constant.
Yeah.
Although at the same time it is fairly
It doesn't really
in constant
feel
motion.
like that though, because of the constant motion of it all, and you never
Yeah.
like. I felt like I got moments to breathe, but in a way that I was never like, ugh,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
like you sort of get that at the end of the first big chase, like really whenever
Hmm.
the arch tumbles down
Yeah.
in the halfway point of Fury Road. That's the first okay that you get in that movie.
The Fury
This
Road one
movie,
is when they get to the stilt walking place. It's all blue, and then he has
yeah,
to go and like get them bullets. That is like the breathe. I guess when they first all run into each other a little bit, but it's so tense that not really.
yeah.
But that one, that's the breathing moment in Fury Road.
But this movie doesn't really have that, and it's well served for being like 80 something minutes.
I think it's
Yeah.
70
Yeah,
something.
could be. Short movie is the point.
He
And
did not make long movies.
No.
yeah,
No.
mashallah. And I don't know, the how did he not die doing this feels like almost like the I mean it is the obvious point of like everything that he did, but it really cannot be overstated to the degree to which it is insane and wildly impressive that anybody did this on camera with no because there is no health and safety, really.
Yeah.
I mean, he did have some injuries. I remember later in life, he went to the doctor complaining about lower back pain. And so, they did x-rays. They took a look at him. They were like, did you break several spines at any point in your life? And he's like, oh, yeah, that one part where like a shit ton of water got dropped on me. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. He
that'll
broke
do
his
it.
he broke his
That'll,
neck, I believe, filming Sherlock Jr. as well.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
the same gag. It's
Yeah.
funny because it actually it has a, so Sherlock Jr. is older than this. Also
Hmm.
a fucking classic. We also zoomed this together.
Banger.
It's a scene where there's a big water tank, a big
Yeah.
like water tower that he like opens up, and the entire thing at full pressure empties on top of him, and the pressure and the weight of that like yeah fractured his spine.
Yeah.
Um, and that gag gets a reprise or a reprise here. Like there's things where the trains are going, and those same water tanks are like flowing in, and they like drench everybody or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a lot less of the like entire tank dumps on one guy and more like it splashes people as they
Mhm.
go through. But it was interesting watching because we did our hospitality third, by which time I
Mhm.
think we were pretty much not watching it, but just kind of
I
shooting the
think I
shit.
was the only one who was still
I
watching
definitely
it.
watched, I never
I
logged
was
that movie.
watching.
I did not log or rate the movie because I was like, I probably caught 30 minutes of this
Yeah.
realistically. But it was interesting to see like the railroad trains are in every single one of them. Like they're just
Yeah.
like these common elements that would keep coming up. And the
It's a
trains
special
make sense.
interest.
It's also just such a good film object because they really are cinematic. Like they are
Yeah.
part of American history. They like move in a way that's kind of uncontrollable or seems like it's on the tracks, but like especially the danger element here in the general is like, dude, if you fuck up, that thing is going to turn you into gelatin. It is several
Yeah.
tons and cannot stop.
And
It's like,
it can get
Yeah.
fucked up in so many new and unique and exciting ways. Like it can have like
Mhm.
mechanical failures. The track can go away, and you're just like, there are so many things to consider with a train.
right.
The train
These
is a
little
metaphor for the
mechanical
passage of time.
it's like these mechanical things to like where they're doing the chase, so I'm dumping objects onto the
Yeah.
track behind us, or I'm ripping up the rails, or just railroad ties or something that jeopardizes or creates obstacles. I legitimately think if I were, so Morgan was talking about the truck chase scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark, he's hanging off the back of the truck. I would throw out that that scene's spiritual successor in T2, where they're driving down in the ravine with
Yeah.
the semi truck and the motorbike. Fucking
You mean in the LA River?
Goated. Fucking so good.
What
Uh,
is it? It's in no way a river, but yes.
It's a river.
it's a
No,
trickle.
it's a crick.
Sometimes it gets
Crick.
a little dry.
The bit in this one, for me, is where he is on the brush guard and there's the railroad ties. He's like ran off the train, picks up a railroad tie. If you've ever worked with railroad ties in your life, that's like a two-man carry. Those
Yeah.
things are fucking huge and they are fucking heavy. And he just got one, right? And he gets himself back up on the brush guard and times it so that he throws one down, hits it, so the other one spikes up into the air and does the two of them together do this arc all the way in front of the train as it is moving towards. It's like literally 1 second, 1 inch off, you are dust.
Yeah.
It's the most wildly
Mhm.
dangerous and impressive thing maybe ever captured on camera. Like specifically just the risk of it, the timing of it, the way your brain processes it is like maybe this is a lot safer than it looks, but I don't think so.
Yeah. It, it is one of those things where the first time I saw it, I guess I didn't fully conceptualize just how close to death he probably was.
Yeah,
Because there are stunts in the
Mhm.
general and even in our hospitality that
right.
I like
Hanging off a
get,
waterfall or whatever.
yeah, stuff I get a little more like anxious about, and then you think about that stunt in the general later on, you're like, oh shit, that one's
Yeah.
actually secretly the thing that would kill you.
The fact
Mhm.
that it's so smooth
Yeah.
and calls no it like it's just he just perfectly executes it in a way where you're like he's such a bumbling dumb fuck the entire movie that you're
I
just
mean,
expecting him to smack
mhm.
himself or get
Yeah.
knocked
Right.
off or
I
whatever.
mean, the actual rail ties were probably like hollow or made out of some
I
lightweight
mean, maybe.
material.
I'm sure that there's some trickery going on, but like,
But also, like Keaton, I watched Battling Butler like 2 days ago. Keaton is fucking ripped
he's
for what it's
really
worth.
strong.
Yes.
He's
Yeah,
It's like in the
crazy jacked.
it's in the Bruce Lee way where it's just like all sinew.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm,
ugh.
Just like a coiled rope.
So if he did pick up one of those things that was like, it's not that heavy, I'd believe him.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they're fake, but even so, it wouldn't take much. Even if the thing weighed 20 pounds, that could
mhm.
still knock your ass down and get ran over
Yeah.
by a fucking train.
Yeah, it's like the boulders at the end of Seven Chances. Are they real boulders? And no, they're just 400-pound paper mache boulders. You're
Right.
still gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
Shout out once
Man.
again to Raiders.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what other set pieces. I mean, obviously, like Fury Road almost in its entirety.
Mhm.
In Stagecoach, well, no, no, no. We'll be specific. In Fury Road, it's the polecats. It's the
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
polecats,
Yeah.
dude. That shit is mental. What do you mean? Uh, in Stagecoach, it's the bit where the natives have come and they're doing the chase, and he's jumping from horse to horse and carriage to carriage,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
it's just like, dude, what the fuck? Mission Impossible, I'll throw out the safety last
Yeah.
reprise in
Mhm.
Ghost Protocol where he's hanging off the tower. You could maybe come up with a couple other ones for Mission Impossible hanging off a plane, X, Y, and
Yeah.
Z, but it's Abu
The,
Dhabi, man.
the
Yeah.
submarine, you know.
It's fucking Abu. That is an incredible movie set piece, but in terms of
Yeah.
like, dude, what? It's him doing safety last off of the Burj Khalifa. That's the
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
It's the one where you genuinely forget that you're watching a movie where people where like Tom Cruise isn't allowed to die. And you're like,
Yeah.
No
Tom Cruise,
shit.
I might actually watch Tom Cruise die here.
I am sure that one day Tom Cruise actually will die on camera.
Of course.
For real.
Yeah. But he'll just be 120 at giving his final Oscar-winning performance, playing fucking
Reuniting with Paul Thomas Anderson.
yeah,
Mhm.
in the remake of Magnolia where he plays the
The dad.
patriarch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the Amy Mann songs have been replaced by Addison Rae songs.
You shut your fucking whore mouth.
No. Yeah. I don't sign off on that.
Yeah. The two that came to mind were both the car chases in The French Connection and To Live and Die in LA, where they're like
Oh
driving
yeah.
in the opposite directions of traffic and shit. And it's like, oh,
And I'm pretty sure with
Billy
French
Peterson's
Connection
gonna
without a
die.
permit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like they're dodging people for real.
French Connection is like legitimately all timer. Like everybody talks about the chase. That movie's just like fucking incredible front to
Yeah.
back, I fear. Um,
Yeah.
Matrix Reloaded,
Yeah.
highway set
Yeah.
piece.
Mm.
There's a lot. The Casa Cristo
Ben-Hur,
from Speed Racer.
What were
Those
you
are
saying,
both.
Davey?
Yeah.
Ben-Hur,
Ben-Hur,
Chariot.
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
The,
yeah,
the
yeah,
the
yeah,
fact that no one died during that
Yeah,
is actually insane.
yeah. I think that's kind of the list. I'm sure
yeah.
there's
Yeah.
like a plane stunt or two out there. Only angels have wings, but I don't know enough about all that
Hmm.
shit.
Yeah.
Chase at the centerpiece of the Dark Knight, flipping the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit is so like breathless to me. It's just like that is one where after the truck flips and like
Yeah, and he goes to the jail.
Ledger, yeah, Ledger gets out and I'm finally just like, oh God, wow.
And then the movie never quite gets back up there again, does it?
No, no, but
No.
like consider the apex.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Trying to think if there's like another Spielberg one, but I don't think there's one that beats that chase. No.
No.
There's
I
like
love the
some really
chase.
fun shit in Temple, but
Yeah, I love the chases in Minority Report. Uh, those are obviously
Yeah.
much less impressive because it's basically animated. Uh,
There's a speaking of Spielberg animated, there's the great like one take in Tintin that I really fucking love.
I've never liked that. It feels too smooth, too gliding. Doesn't have the chunky.
I agree, but like I don't know, there's something about that as a like an animated thing versus something else. Sort of like it all works for me.
I guess with Jackie, because I feel like Jackie Chan is like the ultimate Buster Keaton
Yeah.
guy, right?
Hmm.
To have come out of that. You'd either go with the mall set piece at the end of the first Police Story movie,
Mhm.
which is just like a five-course meal of bullshit, or I think this is even better. The final fight sequences, showdown, whatever, in Legend of the Drunken Master, which is Drunken Master 2, where he's got like the fan, and it's just like it's just like a fucking
Hmm.
five-course meal of bullshit, but more combat, more fighting, more
Yeah.
the police story one's a little bit more like we're gonna fall down. That's sort of the thing with Jackie Chan is he's doing Keaton, but we're getting martial arts mixed in with it, right? It's a little bit less of like
Hmm.
the action is fighting action, not stunt action. But there is still like stunt and props and
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah,
pratfall fighting through the different layers of a ladder type of shit.
the
And
most
the crazy thing about Keaton doing all this stuff so early is that safety protocols basically did not exist in Hollywood.
You can
Like
Mhm.
tell. It
there
shows.
there were no like doctors ready on set to, jump in if something went wrong. Like
Yeah.
if the
That's why you
bridge blowing up
right.
went wrong, no
Uh,
one's rescuing anyone out of that.
dude. What a fucking shot that is when the bridge goes down and then like
Uh,
all the soldiers are like in the water and they have like
that's
their
a
final
shot
standoff
where you're like, oh yeah, I understand why this was the most expensive film ever made at that point in time.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. And the
They
idea of that
fucking
being
yeah.
so not grandiose necessarily, right? It's not
Hmm.
it's not like this big tent pole kind of feeling. It's
Like
just,
you're not getting like a bunch of jump cuts from different angles, like really showing it up. You're just getting
Yeah.
right,
that one take where
right,
it just goes.
bang, for sure. The other Jackie Chan thing that I would think is like at the end of Police Story, you get these like credits where you see him like he's laying down on the ground being fanned because he's so exhausted or like he hit his head on something. It's like that's the Buster Keaton stuff.
Yeah.
This man is putting his body on the line for art and entertainment.
this is why Jackie Chan will always be better than Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a different type of thing. Different. I don't think
Hmm.
Bruce Lee ever had that one. It's Enter the Dragon would be the one that you
Yeah.
picked.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't have that one like fucking yeah, this one.
I mean, he also, to be fair, did not have as much time.
Yeah, of course, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Less time to kind
Oh,
of hone the persona, but like Jackie Chan was always funnier and like goofier.
I think
Yeah.
Bruce Lee has
it's
a
just so much
persona that
more
I
Just don't
prefer.
involved.
ask him about his lesbian daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. It sounds like a terrible conversation for all involved. What am I gonna ask him about next? The spy next door? Just like bringing up the worst.
I would rather ask him about the spy next door.
In a way, I think Bruce Lee does have the
That movie
better persona
sucks.
of those two. Like,
Well,
if
yeah,
there
because
had been those things, because it's just more carnal,
Yeah.
the
more
the
violent.
the fight scenes in Bruce Lee movies are like somebody comes at him, somebody comes at him, somebody comes at him, and that's kind of it. Like it looks
Yeah.
super impressive because he's Bruce fucking Lee, and sometimes the guy
Hmm.
coming at him is Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
Uh, but I mean, it's just a whole nother level of involved.
It it
With
reminds of Brad Bird, like I've talked
yeah,
about. Uh, I, we've already mentioned Ghost Protocol, which he directed. But all of his movies have this kind of like mechanically rapid fire situation that's like escalating or de-escalating, and we're adding pieces to it, and that is telling a story. And I do think that that's present very much in Keaton, right? It's things like the wood in the fire, or like there's the guy laying down. Like he's always putting these elements there and
Hmm.
sort of picking them up and putting them down and picking them up and putting them down, so that there's this, in addition to the train's constant movement, there's always these like layers and development. And sometimes it's cool and sometimes it's funny and sometimes it's whatever.
Yeah.
It gives you a wide range of tones, which helps. Versus the Bruce Lee thing where it's like Bruce Lee is cool, Bruce Lee is cool, Bruce Lee is cool,
Hmm.
Bruce Lee is cool. We have more of a shape, more of a
Yeah.
form.
Hmm.
And I don't know. That's so much of what I like about the Keaton persona. He's not cool. He's not likable. He's not
No.
somebody that you want to be.
He's
Like
usually an asshole.
like the
Yeah.
the Keaton, the actor, is so talented and skilled that the character is like fascinating and entertaining to spend time with. But there's something very like sour and put upon that entertains me so much more than if he was like a hero.
Yeah.
He's a sourpuss through and
Mhm.
through.
Yeah.
I love that. It's an incredible way to do it. And a great contrast if Chaplin is your main thought, or again, like we were talking about Tati.
Hmm.
There's a
Hmm.
collaborator of Jacques Tati, Pierre Ete, who worked on
Hmm.
Pickpocket, the Bresson movie.
What
He
an
worked on
actor.
some early Tati stuff. I don't think he was around by Playtime, but he's done like AD work and like stunt work. He's a
Yeah.
mime by trade. And it's the same thing where like Hulot, very warm, very gentle, very nice. And then this guy is just like looks like he's sucking on a lemon at all times. Like he just
Yeah.
seems, I don't want to fucking be here, man. And
I,
there's something about that that's very funny to me.
I do think there's also something with, because you mentioned Hulo and Chaplin, both characters that give like poor but nice and like lovely, even though they're like down on their luck, but like they've got spirit.
Provincial charm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
whereas and a lot of the Keaton ones, he is to a degree well off or more affluent and just like unhappy. Like
Yeah.
in Battling Butler, he's straight up like a millionaire and his family hates him because he sucks to be around. So they make him go fuck off in the woods for a while. And like there is a like I am accomplished and none of it made me feel better thing to the Keaton persona. It
He's
Uh,
does
the
feel
butt
like
of
a
the
bit of a
joke, and
yeah.
he's using all of his skill and all of his talent to accentuate being the butt of the joke.
Hmm.
And it's so inglorious. And again, I guess that sort of connects back to that central ethical issue is like if he makes himself this union guy, then he
Yeah.
comes across as the hero. He comes
Yeah.
across as like the noble savior of the
yeah.
South or whatever the fuck. And in this case, it's like, no, he's just a dumbass. Like he's just
Yeah.
some fucking guy
Hmm.
He's a
who
loser who's
happens
gonna
to
lose.
also execute these insane stunts over and over and over again.
Yeah.
That almost, you can't tell if it's an accident or if it's intentional or what.
Or, sheer dumb luck.
The grace of God allowing this man to save his fucking engine and his girl.
If the Chaplain stunts are implied that the by the will of God and his good graces, he is allowed to keep continuing, the Keaton films imply that by the will of the devil, I will
Right.
not let this man be
Yeah.
free.
And also Keaton's films were much more dangerous than Chaplin's, just in terms
For
of the
sure.
stunts.
That's
It's
true.
more
Like
action oriented.
maybe the craziest thing in Chaplin's career is, like the house on the cliffside in Gold Rush.
That's
Yeah.
probably it. Yeah, the windy thing, or like these don't
Modern
look
Times
particularly
looks more
dangerous. Modern
dangerous.
times.
Yeah,
Right.
it looks a lot more dangerous than it is. It's the
Right.
reverse of
Hmm.
the
If
Keaton
Keaton were
thing.
doing that, he'd be like
Yeah.
in the gears of a real fucking clock tower, really about to get crushed.
Yeah, he would build it and like put dynamite at the bottom to make it
Right, right,
interesting.
right. He
I was
dodges
gonna
all the
make
gears only to like hit his head on the fucking
I was
concrete
gonna
at the
make a
bottom or something.
really, really inappropriate joke about the Great Dictator, but we're just gonna skip that.
Chaplin always has these great set pieces in them, but they're not usually stunt or action oriented.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They're nothing that you're gonna watch a Chaplin movie and be like, oh, this is like Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
That is not a thought that occurs to
It's
me.
It's balletic. It's more of like this like dance performance kind of
for
thing.
Yeah.
sure.
It's like the dueling barbershop chairs, or it's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
floating
yeah.
globe.
That is a great that is a great example.
Yeah.
The Barber of Seville.
I I still
La la
prefer
la
our
la la
hospitality,
la.
I will say.
Mm.
That's insane, but all right.
It
I
works
go
so well
back
for
and
me.
forth between this and Sherlock Jr. because Sherlock Jr.
Yeah.
is a little bit more like flight of fantasy, imagination, and then the stunts become ludicrous in
Yeah.
the same way as this, but like not as bound to any particular narrative, story, setting, X, Y, and Z. This one got my heart because I saw it earlier, pretty
That's fair.
much. Is
That's
the
valid.
dividing factor
Yeah.
between the two.
Sherlock is so elemental that like on this rewatch, I basically flipped it in the general in my head, the position, because I appreciated what the general was doing as a story a lot more in Sherlock Jr. I
For
was
sure.
like, this is obviously very impressive, but
It's a little bit
Mhm.
of a grab bag of
yeah,
gags and stunts and stuff.
yeah, nothing
There's
but
no like
love for it.
the idea that you're even calling it Sherlock Jr. implies that it's gonna be something that it
Yes,
totally is not.
some kind of
Mhm.
mystery of a sort, and it really is just what
Yeah,
if I fucked around with like double exposure?
It's awesome.
It rules.
it's
Um,
amazing.
but yeah, I this viewing definitely unlocked the general a lot more for me. And part of that is realizing how dangerous some of this shit is, and part of
Hmm.
that is vibing more with the story, and also part of that is just watching comedies with your friends and they
For
laugh and you're
sure.
like, yeah, this is we're all laughing together.
Yeah.
It's easier to vibe with a comedy, especially a silent one, where
I
it
agree with
doesn't have
that.
the same rhythms that we're always used to.
I
Hmm.
agree with that. And then I think, entry point, as we've talked extensively about, entry point for me, action stunts,
Yeah.
right? So there's this kind of thing to work off of, and then it's funny on top of that. So much of my shit with comedies is like, you have nothing to fall back on if the jokes aren't landing.
Yeah.
If the movie's 90 minutes long and it's got 30 minutes worth of really good gags in it, 30 minutes worth of really good gags in any movie is impressive.
Yeah.
But then you've also got 60 minutes of what?
Yeah.
60 minutes of, okay, yeah, that's okay. I'm all right with
Yeah.
this. This is fine. Is the story there? Is the characters there? Like, if you don't have that thing, that's so much of my, like, I don't know what to do with this in the genre, right? Is if it's
Right.
not literal belly laughs from wire to wire, what else is there?
Yeah.
And even if there is, it's like, okay, yeah, but like we have such a narrow band of what success looks like here. Whereas I think you could watch The General, never laugh at it once. I don't know how you wouldn't laugh at it once and still come away with it as like, oh, this is a successful this type of movie
Yeah.
because that's all in there. Probably less so with Sherlock Jr. I mean, the stunts are
Yeah.
still really impressive, but if it's not making you laugh, you're probably a little bit more like, okay, I don't care about this.
Yeah. Absolutely.
For
And I think
sure.
our hospitality is just even a little further in that direction of like even less of like crazy comedy outside of the very end. And it's just a little more
Mhm.
my speed.
Yeah, Buster Keaton. A lot of good shorts. Definitely.
Great.
None of them that really are like reaching up into this territory, but consistently clever. The cameraman and the goat are probably the other two that
Mm.
I would put near the top. Steamboat Bill, good.
And last 20 minutes of Steamboat Bill, amazing. Everything before it, good.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a guy who survived in the transition to sound, unfortunately.
Yeah, that
No.
vaudeville thing definitely seems like, yeah, you need to keep doing vaudeville. You're not going to do like Monsieur
Yeah.
Verdoux or whatever.
Yeah, and
I will
it's so
say,
expensive. So
yeah,
expensive what he was like a
it
control freak.
mhm. And it really did not vibe with, what this transition to sound meant.
Hmm.
He's got a great scene in Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah, a lot of the like cameos and stuff he was doing in the 50s were really cool. Once he kind of like went away, became like a debilitating alcoholic for a while, and then came back. But he was doing like TV, he's doing like Twilight Zone episodes. He
Yeah.
was, especially in those last like 20 years, very
Mhm.
unpretentious about everything. And
Yeah.
just being like, I made these movies and then I drank a lot and now I'm back doing
Yeah.
little bit parts.
And I do think that's helped his career survive even to the
Yeah.
present, to let people rediscover him, is that he never took
There
himself
was never
too
that awkward.
seriously.
Well, and there was never that awkward phase, maybe, of like, these didn't really work. It just was
Hmm.
like good stuff, and then it stops.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a very brief period where he was working for MGM, which is like unwatchable,
Uh-huh.
apparently. But like
Yeah. from
he
what I've
wasn't
heard.
directing them, he wasn't writing them, he was just like a hired actor, like plugged in. And they were like, these are new Buster Keaton pictures. And he hated them, and no one ever really engages with them anymore. I I did just get to a story in Dana Stevens's book about when they were restoring some of his like classic shorts, and how the guy who was manning the project, Keaton was going through like the film reels in his garage, and he was examining nitrate prints with like a lit cigarette in his mouth. And the guy was like, please stop doing that. Holy shit, it's so flammable. And it's just like
Least
this,
dangerous Buster Keaton activity.
it's just like
Guy
this man did not give a
guy who died
shit.
guy who died of lung cancer.
Listen, if anything, Depp feared Buster Keaton, not the other way around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Buster
sure.
Keaton is everything the Chuck Norris jokes were about.
Yeah.
Literally, literally.
Rest in peace to a loser.
What a dork.
But the Way of the Dragon went hard though.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because like
One
Harold
of the gr-
Lloyd also
one of
went
the
away
great
for a little
Brissonian
while.
actors.
And even Chaplin, like in the post-sound era, I mean, he didn't make a sound film until 1940. He kind of became
Yeah.
like a recluse who only popped up every 7 or 8 years. And like those later films are all major, major statements, but he lost something in the
Yeah.
transition to sound.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I think movies did a little, right? Like we've
Yeah.
mentioned, we've talked about how there are these like legacy things, but I mean, gosh, when you're talking about the legacy being like Hong Kong's biggest filmmaker, America's biggest filmmaker in Steven Spielberg, and then America's other biggest filmmaker in, I know he's not American, but James Cameron in like T2, right?
Yeah.
T2, most expensive movie ever made at the time, right? And
Yeah.
that is the movie that's like evoking this for like a couple of scenes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it makes
Took us
sense,
70 years to get back there.
right? And a lot of money
Yeah.
and a lot of safety protocols,
Yeah.
probably.
The safety protocols are the only good thing that we've had since then. Everything else is worse.
Yeah, because there's that whole time they made the Noah's Ark movie and they set multiple Olympic-sized swimming pools worth of water on unsuspecting extras.
Yeah.
There were a lot of ambulances on that set,
You just throw some
Yeah.
concrete at people.
and probably I
Was
think
that
it was.
was that our guy Mikey Curtis?
Yes,
did
it
that movie?
was.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah.
And God, what was the death toll on that? I don't think it was high, but it was still like
More
the
than
fact that I'm
zero
talking-
is very bad.
the fact that I'm talking about a death toll for
Yeah.
a Bible epic is
Not great. I mean, the death toll in the Bible was higher anyway
Yeah.
for that particular event.
It's a big book though.
Yeah,
covers
it's
a lot.
all
No,
of
I
them.
meant just the flood. I'm just talking about the flood, which was,
Sure.
admittedly everyone on Earth.
All of them minus 4.
Yeah.
Or it depends on if Emma Watson, as one of his son's wives, was actually there or not.
Thank you, Darren Aronofsky.
Uh,
Not his worst movie.
Not by a lot.
no,
At this
by
point,
no
it's like
means.
in the middle.
No,
I don't
no,
hate
it's
Noah as
That
much as
that's
everyone else
brutal.
It's not
No,
in the middle.
Noah's an interesting movie.
It's better than The Whale. That's as far as we're going.
Better than Mother.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
yeah, it is.
It's a
Mother
better
has
movie.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
It's a much better movie about religion than Mother.
No, it isn't. No, it's
Yeah.
not. No, no. Even the flood gag in Mother is better than Noah. She, like,
Mother
breaks the sink or
understands that, like, if God is real, he's a petty, vindictive little fucking loser.
Noah also understands. I can't do Noah right now. I have to go.
It's a perspective for 14-year-olds anyway. Shut up.
So is The Fountain, but yes.
Yeah, but that movie's like,
Good.
yeah.
Can someone
That's the
please
word.
put Rachel Weisz in a movie again? That's like not Marvel slop.
I'd
She
love
should
to.
do another movie where she spits in Rachel McAdams' mouth.
I would
Agreed.
vote. I would vote that our good
That's a good
friend,
movie.
frequent Oscar nominee Yorgos Lanthimos, give her and Colin Farrell and maybe even Olivia Colman all a call.
Yeah.
That's
And
nice.
let
I know
Emma
he's on
Stone
like
rest.
a sabbatical or whatever the fuck he's talking
Yeah.
about, but whenever you're done with that.
Emma can show up for a few minutes, but maybe she should also take a break.
Yeah, she should absolutely take a break.
I will say I've had that clip of her in Begonia saying "New Era" stuck in my head for like a week now.
It's a funny movie.
Good picture.
We'll never watch it again.
It's so
No.
funny that it's a Best Picture nominee.
Not
It
even like
is-
a bottom 3 Best
it
Picture
is
nominee
in-
of the
Yeah,
past
no.
year.
No, it's just funny that that movie now lives in the annals of Academy
Not
history.
not even a bottom three nominee from 2025.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, not
Yeah.
Yeah.
clearly better than F1, clearly better
Yeah.
than
Frankenstein. I like it more than Train
Frankenstein.
Dreams.
I like it more
Three-time
than Train
Academy
Dreams.
Award winner Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
On the note of people who need to take sabbaticals.
Fuck yeah, dude. Get out of my face.
Yeah.
I can get the makeup,
Yeah.
I get that. I get the makeup.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get the whole Frankenstein suit and everything. I get that. Costumes, all right.
Fine.
It's not an inspired pick by any stretch of the imagination.
They like gothic shit.
Yeah.
Production design over Sinners and over Marty Supreme
I can see
I
the
for
I can
I
that?
see the
do
foam on the boulders, Guillermo.
I do think it's very funny that our last two best production design winners in a row have prominently featured a round window.
What was the last one?
Wicked.
Oh yeah, I don't care.
That's
Wicked won
stupid.
production design? That sucks.
That
Wicked
sucks.
won costume design and production design.
Yeah, and the sets in Wicked are like good. They just look like shit on
Yeah.
screen, which I feel like is
It was
such a
just as
failure of production design.
who's the guy who did the production design for like a ton of Nolan movies?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. He won for Oppenheimer, right?
No, that was a different production designer.
Oh, it was a different. Okay, yeah.
Wicked
Right.
was his first win. Like he didn't win for any of the Nolan stuff he did.
And he
but
did
Wicked,
Dunkirk, maybe.
probably, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what show won production design this year? No Other Choice.
It really. I
Yeah.
honestly, Morgan talked me into it. It should have been Jack Fisk for Marty Supreme.
That's fair. That's a good
Jack
pick.
Fisk
Because like
should
it's
have an
a
Academy
really,
Award.
really because he should have one, and it was just good work. I mean, like that. I
Yeah.
felt like you were looking at the '50s New York
Yeah,
in a
I
very organic way.
it does look great.
Oscar's
Darius
really
Con-
boring this year.
Darius Kanji cinematography nomination.
Eh.
Eh.
It is cool that we broke the glass ceiling on that category, even if it took 98 friggin' years to get there.
Yeah, Jesus
we
Christ.
could have broken it with Claire Matan like twice over by now, but people weren't ready for that action.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I mean the Oscars as a ceremony this year.
It was what we expected. The
Yeah.
two movies that we all knew were the two movies did what they were supposed to do.
Mhm.
Very few surprises. I would say Michael B. Jordan winning actor was like, well, we had the precursor to let us know that might happen.
Yeah,
That was a little bit of like, that race was open. That was one of the more open races was for Best
Mhm.
Actor.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
And
rest
like,
of them, as it turns out, were pretty open and shut. Sean Penn, Amy Madigan, and Jesse Buckley.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean the room exploded when Michael B. Jordan won.
Yeah.
You just got to give it to a real movie star every now and then.
Yeah,
Yeah, none of the others really stuck out to me in any kind of way. It just felt
I
very
mean, the only
down the
genuine
middle.
surprise was the literal tie.
Yeah, that one's fun.
But in a
Yeah.
category that, like, sure.
I mean, yeah, but
It's still a tie. I get it. There's only been like 5 or whatever. And more than once have they been in the short film category, which I think means something.
yeah. The thing for me is if something was going to win of those two, it definitely would have been Two People Exchanging Saliva, a short film that kind of sucks. So I'm glad that it wasn't the only winner.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That one is diet like the most.
It's very Jean-Pierre Jeunet coded and it's annoying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Zach, I
Ugh.
knew that you would not enjoy that.
yeah.
The biggest story of the Oscars, and then maybe we can stop, but like it's that Neon belly flopped so hard. Neon had these 4 movies, 5 if you count No Other Choice, which obviously wasn't nominated.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna talk about it because they put up that fucking billboard that said F your consideration or whatever out in LA.
Yeah.
So Neon got cheeky about it. Neon was
Yeah.
like, this movie should have been nominated and wasn't.
Yeah.
They could have gone 5 for 5 in the international category. Instead, they went 4 with The Voice of Heinrich Job, and that is the only category they won. The category where they fielded 4 of the 5 nominees, and then nothing else. That's crazy.
I think this is the danger of having too many films and not
many
having
options.
the resources, frankly.
Yeah.
Because like sure, Warner Brothers had the two big films, but they're also big enough as a studio that they could pull that off.
That's
Neon
right.
is not that big.
Yeah. And also, this is Warner Brothers like Death Spiral year, so people were like, "Sure, you can have both of them." It's like
This kind of is
look at the
like giving the
rabbits,
dog
Lenny.
steak before
Like,
And
putting it
it's
down.
also Coogler and it's also Paul Thomas Anderson.
yeah,
Not to take
Yeah.
anything away from Joachim Trier or Park Chan-wook or whoever,
Panahi.
Oliver
yeah,
Lax, right, Jafar Panahi. But these are not like that's not it's not the same.
no,
Yeah.
it's
So
not.
anyway, that was
And
just
it's
kind of a and those four movies are, I mean, not Surratt. I'm not really in my bag for that one, but like
Yeah.
they really had a good showcase. I didn't expect more. I thought that Sentimental Value would win somewhere else, and that might open somebody besides Sentimental Value to win international. Sentimental was kind of
Yeah,
the one where it was like, this really didn't win shit, huh? What happened
I
there?
I thought it was going to win supporting actor up until the end. I thought that
I
that
did too.
international was going to go Secret Agent.
Yeah.
it
A movie
is
I like less than Sentimental Value, but like that's the winner. Come on, for fuck's sake, give it to Secret Agent.
Or it was just an accident. That's the thing, right?
That's
Is
true.
that you're
It should
kind
be.
of
It was just an
that's
accident,
the
but
thing. You have too many options here, so then you kind of end up with the
splitting the
consensus
vote
pick.
and
yeah.
yeah, splitting the vote,
And it was
consensus.
just an
Yeah.
accident. It wasn't a Best Picture nominee, so it was never going to win.
Yeah, I mean, apparently the Academy voters just didn't know what it was. They were like, "What? What's this?"
I hate that
Right.
these people don't give a shit about anything.
And then Sinners was just anointed. That's like we were going to give Coogler an
Yeah.
Oscar, so neither Trier nor
Hmm.
Panahi really had much of a chance in that
Yeah.
Yeah,
category,
yeah,
which the less I say, the better, but we'll move
Yeah.
on.
yeah.
It's a good script, and I'm glad that Ryan Coogler has an Oscar. We'll leave it there.
Mhm.
Good script. Good win.
Yeah. Also, we have a new category, and that's always fun.
Yeah.
We have a new one next year, right? Stunts.
So
I think 2 years
stunts,
from now.
Ah, yeah.
they
I keep
start
forgetting.
handing it out in 2028 for the 100th ceremony.
Do we have another one besides that, or that's it?
That's
No.
it. Just those two.
I
I
wish that the casting thing, because I only really digested that it's not an ensemble award, it's a casting award. And it's like, I
Mhm.
get those are separate things, but like, let's add an ensemble award, please.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree
That
they
would have
should.
gone to Sinners this year, but yeah.
Yeah.
I am always pro adding categories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm anti removing them. Shouts
Yeah.
to sound.
And the casting director also had my favorite speech of the night. I loved when she was like, "Hey, Paul, I won before you." Haha.
Did the car movie win the sound Oscar?
Yes,
Yeah.
it
Yes.
did.
Yeah. They
That
like
makes
a car
sense.
movie.
It's fine.
Unsurprising.
It should be
Vroom.
actually it should be Hamnet, but people aren't
Yeah.
ready for that.
Vibes, mood.
That movie sounds amazing.
Certainly deserves best score over fucking Ludi.
Yeah.
Ludwig with
Bonehead
3
shit.
Oscars.
And
Might be rounding in for a fourth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Christ.
Who
Listen,
knows? He may even
the
deserve two of them.
listen, the score in Odyssey from the 5-minute preview that they did fucking rules.
The Oppenheimer one's incredible.
Yeah.
I know that Morgan's kind of been out on that one, maybe just because you like the competition more. I like the center score. I mean, it's a musical movie, so I sort of get where the voters'
Mhm.
brains go with that
It's just not a
idea.
score movie to me. It's a song movie.
It is a song
Yeah.
movie for sure.
I do think if there was ever a year to bring back the original song score category, this should have been it.
Yeah.
The big
But yeah.
surprise for me was One Battle winning casting over Sinners. I
For
thought
sure.
that was live.
Yeah.
And then I think
But
there was
I-
another one,
I-
cinematography, that flipped the other way. I
Yeah.
thought that cinematography
Yeah.
would be One Battle, and then ultimately it was
Yeah,
Women's
because
Sinners.
One Battle had won all the precursors in cinematography, but there was that niggling question like in everyone's mind that was like, hey,
Yeah,
we could finally do this. We could finally give it to an
They both
extremely
have that.
deserving woman.
And
They
also
both
we
have
could
that
call
same
it
gimmick.
cinematography.
they both have that same gimmick of like Warner Brothers movies that released in IMAX on prints, like
Mhm.
blah blah blah. But I do think like it's just undeniable to me that One Battle is like way more of a cinematography oriented affair, like
I-
the entire time. And so it just felt,
And-
just in the same way, Sinners feels much more like an ensemble that
Uh-huh.
takes 100% of the ensemble really seriously. So it just that I would have probably flipped those. I probably would have voted the wrong way on both.
I think
would've-
in hindsight, what did it for Sinners to win in cinematography is that one take
Yeah.
Sure.
that locked it up.
I think I ultimately would give One Battle. I think that's a better win than Sinners for casting. Just because I think Chase Infinity is a better find than Miles Keaton.
Yeah.
Agreed. And also in one battle, you have so many tiny one-bit roles.
Yeah.
Like Sinners has the ensemble, but one battle
Right.
relies on dozens of people who have like maybe 2 minutes tops, and
Yeah.
they all make an impact.
Yeah, that's a good
Noted
point.
indie R&B singer Dijon going, "What's my favorite kind of pussy?"
And being able to say
What?
who's the most racist looking guy I know? Tony Goldwyn.
Yeah.
Evan
That takes
O'Leary.
that takes a genius.
It does, honestly.
Yeah.
So congratulations to her on
Was
winning.
Marty Supreme nominated in the casting category?
Yes, it was, and it
I
went
was
home
gonna because
empty.
it's very eclectic, right?
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
the Tyler the Creator and the Kevin and
And that is
Gwyneth
Brennan.
Paltrow. Where was the Gwyneth Paltrow nom? Kidding.
honestly, yeah. I mean, she's great at it.
She is great in it.
I'm glad that she's back to working. I know she was just announced for something else, so she's back on our screens, and I'm happy about that.
It's gonna be selling Goop to you very soon.
Have you
Ooh,
tried her
a lot.
No.
her wraps are really good, honestly. The spicy Caesar salad wrap is really good.
Do you think that I've
Hey,
tried the
don't eat
Gwyneth
that. You're
Paltrow
gonna like
product?
Demi Moore's gonna come out of your back
Where the,
later. You
where
don't
the
want that.
fuck? Where would I even get a Gwyneth Paltrow seasoned salad wrap?
You go to the Goop Kitchen.
The what? We don't have that on this hemisphere.
Maybe it's just an LA thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the fucking Goop Kitchen.
Rest in peace, Buster Keaton. You would have loved Goop.
Yeah, so the
Oh,
general, pretty good
oh my
movie.
God.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to restrain myself from calling this episode. Yeah, it's the Goop Kitchen now.
What would have Buster Keaton done with the exploding vagina candle?
What?
She made a candle that smells like vaginas, and then there was a product flaw, and it started blowing up in people's homes.
Okay.
Well,
Did she
thanks
fill
for
it with
having me on this
tannerite?
podcast, gang. It's really great to be invited.
It's great to have you, Davey.
Yeah, thanks. She's
I'm glad that you were able to rehabilitate your stance on a great motion picture, The General, directed by
Mhm.
Buster Keaton from 1926, 100 years ago.
Yes.
I have no earthly idea what our next episode is because we really haven't planned it yet. I'm sure it'll be something fun. Maybe a new release, maybe something
Gonna
old.
be in Ireland for the whole second half of the month. So
So probably be in May by the
Yeah,
sound of
Yeah.
it.
it'll be me yelling at you guys about fashion for an hour and a half
it's
after
gonna
seeing
be
Devil Wears Prada
May.
2.
It's gonna be May.
I mean, we got to do that draft soon.
When in it. Yeah, we
Yeah.
do. Thank you all for taking the time to show up, talk about a great movie. Thank you all for listening. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.